Hey, welcome makers. It's a new year. It's my first live stream of the new year. We are live on YouTube and we're live on Twitch for everybody watching here, there, everywhere. And each and every week at 1 p.m. Pacific, I have makers drop in from around the world. And we talk about 3D printing, lasers, painting, CNCs, a little bit of anything and everything. We even talk about cookies once in a while. But yeah, let me bring in the guys in the back room and we'll get going. And if you, what is it, bang, whatever it says on the screen there, enter that in chat and we'll give giving away a roll of Ziltech filament here in a couple hours. Yeah, bang New Year in chat and we'll give away one roll, USA only, unfortunately, it's from Ziltech and they don't ship outside of the US. We'll do that drawing in a couple hours. But yeah, let me bring everybody in. We'll get going and I can have up to 10 people at a time on screen. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to ask. And if you're wondering why I got the Bamboo Labs P1P on screen, that's just a picture. It's not really sitting there. I'm saving up to buy that. And I've had a lot of people over the last 2 weeks donate. I'm selling stuff around the house to try to acquire the money so I can order a P1P. So that's why that's on the screen. And there's a pin link that shows up in Twitch. It pops by and there's a pin link in YouTube if you'd like to, help me out on PayPal. But you don't have to. That's perfectly fine. But let's bring everybody in. We'll get going. Hey, Matt. How you doing?
Hey, yeah, I'm still waiting for my bamboo.
Hey, Liam. How are you?
I'm good, and the only bamboo he's really waiting for is the bamboo rod for his wife to beat him with.
And we've got Richard from
I enjoy that.
Hey, Richard, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well. Happy New Year to y'all.
Happy New Year.
Sorry, we always make fun of Matt. He's used to us.
Let me reshare the link out. Anybody wants to drop in, and who all do we have here in chat? Let's see. Non-fam, hello.
Do you have an issue?
Old Curmudgeon, hello. He's working. Bag of chips, how you doing? Denny, hello, Denny. Blasto Supreme. Joe Velasco, hello, Joe. Let's see. Going down through here. I think
I'm not Velasco.
Yeah, nice to see everybody. Thanks for dropping in. Delos Logos, Derek in the UK, hello, how are you?
Hey, Blasto, that's how Louise keeps him in check.
Yeah, Derek, I believe, is going to try to print a Paul the Alien off a GAM body on his belt printer. I think that's what he's currently working on.
Oh, nice.
So what's new, everybody? What do you got going on for the new year?
Well, I've been printing vessels, or actually, they're called. No, I forgot the name. That's bad. I will share it later, but as you can see in the pictures, those are fossils, look alike, and I made them stand out, and like a real fossil would do. But if you put them then towards the light, you will see the bones directly, and then I will show it to you in the middle of the show. So next one.
What's new with you, Richard? What do you got going on?
I am planning a whole bunch of new stuff for 2023. Get back on the horse. 2022 was a disaster, as we all know. And it was probably the roughest year I've ever had. But this year is totally different. As you guys know, I was on the 1st of January, and that momentum is just continuing now. You can see my background is 3D rendered.
Looks nice.
This was actually done using AI. So I had no hand in it other than describing what I wanted, and this is what it came up with.
Very cool.
I kind of thought it was cool, so I thought I would use it as a background today. And for my big project this year, I'm just going to share my screen real quick.
Sure.
And this is my big project for this year. This is by Mechanistic. It is a micro jib. It's the world's smallest camera jib, completely 3D printed. It will handle everything from a DSLR all the way down to your phone. And it is probably one of the coolest things I've seen in a long time. So it's going to add to my overall look and feel of my B-roll as we move through 2023.
Let me interrupt real quick. We've got Kieran, guys. Everybody from the man from down under. Hopefully he's feeling better. Hello, Kieran.
Hey guys, how's this going?
Hey, Kieran.
I managed to survive relatively intact, which isn't too bad, but it wasn't much fun.
What was wrong with you, actually?
COVID.
Oh, human malware, all right.
Yeah, week before
it.
Christmas, the wife picked it up and she ended up in hospital, and I had it positive day on Christmas Day.
Oh, sorry to hear.
How is she?
Is she out and all better now?
She's still not too good. She had fluid in the lungs, and that still hasn't cleared up. But she's back home, so that's all good.
Yeah, that'll take time to clean up all the leftover mess from it.
Yeah, that's the trouble. It's just the lingering is the problem. Not so much that, it's the lingering. Yeah. So yep. But so Christmas sucked, but that's the way it is.
Yeah, I went to Walmart yesterday and got another booster. I'd had 3 like a year ago, and then I hadn't had one since. I went and got another booster yesterday.
Yeah, they have a new one now. A new one that covers all the new variants.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to go get my new booster. I've had 3 as well, and I've had my flu shot. I just need my booster now.
Yeah, the flu that's going around is nasty. The flu is very bad this year as well. So definitely want to get your shots. Yeah, so
it's not any different here in Canada. It's rampant.
I've never caught the flu, so I don't get the flu shot.
I have the flu shot I took a few months ago, and a few months ago before that I took the another booster shot for COVID. So
you have to take your precautions. I mean, we wear masks and everything else.
I never had it yet.
Yeah, you don't want it.
I've had COVID. Yeah, I got COVID while I was at Maker Faire here in Calgary last year. I'd already had my second booster, so I'd had 3 shots already, and I came home and I was feeling sick and my throat was scratchy, and then I had full blown COVID. I ended up giving it to my wife. She ended up with it a week after, and then gave it back to me.
You're so generous. You keep sharing.
Oh yeah,
that's it. Yeah, the gift that keeps on giving. Yeah,
it's
something you don't want because it can screw you up, and then you can change and makes it worse. So it's all fine and good. You just don't want to get it, or if you do get it, get your shot. Yeah.
So far, nobody in my house has picked it up.
Yeah,
oh, good for you.
We've been very cautious about stuff. I've made sure I get the science of it, of how it works and how it's spread and so on. So when it first started out, those conversations immediately started, and we were very careful about our interactions, about what we got, where we went, and what we did, and where we wore masks, and we were really diligent about it. And so far, and then when the shots came out, we started getting access to those. So to date, we've managed to avoid it. I hope it stays that way, but to date.
Yeah. Oh, we were the same. We took all the precautions and the shots and everything else, but unfortunately, you can still get it. So that's the way it is. Unfortunately, yeah. So.
And who is that, Jerry?
Is that
Bruce Willis, John McClane, Die Hard, Yippee-ki-yay,
true Christmas movie.
Tagline. This is by Wicked Art off of their Patreon.
Nice.
He's hollowed 3 millimeters thick. He was printed in 2 pieces rather than multiple pieces. I've done his torso and legs, and then the base, and then the sign on the front, and the radio on the back. They're all done out of resin, hollowed 3 millimeters thick.
Very nice.
Nice.
That is very nice.
Oh, and I dropped the radio.
Yeah, I don't do enough resin.
Me either. I've got to do more.
Well, I'm not a huge fan. Like in winter, like for you and I, Richard. It's too cold to do resins anywhere but in the house.
That's true.
And resin's a problem doing.
Take care, Blasto.
Okay, take care, Blasto. in summer, I can put my resin printer in the garage and I can run it all I want. I don't care. But in winter, it's really hard to do it. Like I could do it in the house, but the fumes from it, I really have problems with.
Hey,
It
Red
doesn't
Light, how are
affect
you?
me. I just don't like the smell around the house.
Yeah, different people get affected different ways from the resin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
There
Dusty.
you go.
Hey, Dusty.
So
You
that's
pull you
all.
up, man.
Oh, nice.
Looks like
Yeah,
a fossil of a snail, huh?
It's a fossil.
it's an ammonite. It's a Jurassic. It's a Jurassic ammonite. Yeah.
That's
It's
cool.
printed on the Uniformation GK2 8K resin printer because
And-
Miami Cubic has a bad control board and they're mailing them out a new one right now.
I finally know what the name is. It's called a relief picture. And
It's a relief it came out right.
Yeah. Actually, this one prints quicker than other lithophanes because I can put in less infill in. Normally, you have to put 100% infill with lithophanes, but with this, I found I can put a small layer of 20% infill I put in. And it worked perfectly.
Doesn't work the same way. It's not
Well,
doesn't work the same way as
20% is even
lithophane.
is high infill. I would say that's a high level of infill. Like I've done a gear system in the past, and I did it with 100% infill because it's a gear. It's going to be under torque.
You need that infill. You need that infill to see the detail on the fossil, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Hey, Sebastian. Hello.
There you go.
Nice.
He looks hungry.
Yeah, he's nothing but bones.
Yeah.
These are good feed. Yep.
I have another one. This one is the best one, I think. Everybody knows what this one is.
Yeah, another skinny bird.
Yep. Pterodactyl looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like my brother.
Could be.
Long
send him
head,
back in
skinny
time?
body. Long head, skinny body.
And buried him.
Yeah, a friend of mine here in town has a couple Bamboo Labs printers, and the light that goes in the P1P wanted me to see if I could print out the cover for it and clear PLA. So I sent me a link to the Bamboo website. I downloaded the files. What was it, MF3, Liam?
Yes.
3
Was it
MF.
MF3
file?
file?
Sorry,
I
3
threw it in 3 different slicers, and they couldn't open it. And then so I messaged Liam. He goes, use Idea Maker. Dropped it in Idea Maker. Seen the file fine. And I'm printing them out 3. When they get done, then I'll mail them across Vegas to them, so they don't have to drive all the way across town.
Jerry,
So,
you can save it out of Idea Maker to another to an STL, I believe, as well.
Okay.
You can export it. Do that and then print it with another printer or on the same printer where you sliced elsewhere, and do a look at the quality difference from A to B. Idea Maker, when it comes to mechanical parts, is fantastic. I think its print quality is and what it outputs is better than other slicers for mechanical parts.
okay.
One of the other things I'm working on for a useful 3D prints is this grid wall. I don't know how well it's going to come out, but here we go. This is a grid wall that you assemble essentially, and you plug in just like you would a normal pegboard. You plug them into the holes, and it holds all your stuff.
Oh, that's a nice idea.
Yeah,
This is
the pile.
Yeah, there's a plethora of fittings for it, from hooks to brackets to stands to shelves to It's a massive. Yeah, it's on printables.
Yeah,
it's on printables. Yeah.
And it's
Sebastian,
there's a massive add-ons for it.
What's wrong?
First thing I tried was Prusa Slicer. It couldn't see the file. Nothing happened. It had an error on the screen. Then I tried Simplified 3D. It couldn't see it. And then I tried Kitty Print or Chitty Print, whatever, their own slicer, and it couldn't see it. And I messaged Liam. He said, "Well, try Idea Maker," which I had on my desktop, but I didn't open it. That was my 4th one to try. And then it dropped it in, no problem.
Well,
do you have Cura?
Yeah, I have Cura too, but I didn't try Cura.
Well, here's the problem: old slicers, old base and ground-based slicers, will not support it because the 3MF file is a more modern file type. And the older style slicers, and I don't know about Prusa. I don't use it because I don't like the UI. I don't like.
Let me see what. Let me see what version I got them. I got version 2.4.2.
Of what,
So
Prusa?
he does have a newer version. He used
242, the slice right for Prusa, and it had an error when I tried to load it.
Yeah, see.
Why not use Bamboo Studio and save the STL? The only Bamboo I have is a picture of one on the screen. I don't own one. My friend that has one across Vegas wanted me to print in clear PLA, and he don't want to buy a whole roll of clear PLA to use 20 feet of it. So he messaged me, and I said, okay, I'll print them and just mail them to you. So.
Yeah, so I use Idea Maker for the vast majority of my printers. So there's one printer manufacturer I use their own slicer because I get better prints with their slicer, and that's because they have optimized their profiles for their machine, and it's a rock star, right?
Unless Joe is saying for me to download Bamboo Studios, then save it as an STL, and then take it to another slicer. I didn't try that. Since I don't have one, I haven't downloaded their slicer
Sure,
yet.
he already has Idea Maker. There's no need.
Yeah. But the new version of Prusa should handle it. Yeah.
While we're on the topic of slicers, Jerry, you downloaded and upgraded to version 5 on Simplify, did you not?
And after I seen Tim's video and a few others, I got my money back because it has too many bugs in it.
I haven't experienced the bugs part of it yet, but I will say this, that I don't believe that it's worth that upgrade price, in my personal opinion. The only reason I still have it is because I've got to create content with it, because if I don't, I'm not serving my audience and I'm not serving the community if I'm not looking at it and at least showing people what is there and available for that money, as it were.
If they feel they have to make money, new people that haven't tried it should only have to pay $59 to get it.
I agree.
People
100%.
paid $150 back in the day, like me and you did.
Yeah.
If I can get everything from every slicer into one, and I know S3D very well, but they moved everything around, I was willing to pay $59. But then a lot of stuff is broken, moved around, not there. And Uncle Jesse mentioned that in the new version, you can't turn and drop things on the bread. And he said the old version, you couldn't either. Well, yes, you could. You just go up to the top file, edit whatever it is, and there's a tab, drop on bed, and you touch any point with your mouse, and it puts a file on the bed. And I didn't want to correct him in his video, but because everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Thanks for subscribing, Vincent.
Well, here's my view on S3D, the new, even the old version. Right? The old version, when S3D came out, slicers were bad. And
I agree.
They optimized the S3D for profiles for printers and so on, and they did a really good job of it. But they made one mistake. They said they were going to have a new version, and they sat on their ass and did nothing about it for 5 years.
Yep.
And because of that, they went so out of date that every other free slicer out there, it can now whip their butts twice over, and it won't cost you a penny.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got Andrew S. dropping in. Hey,
Andrew. Hello, everyone.
Hey, Andrew. How's it going?
Hey, Andrew.
It's been hectic.
They didn't put enough new features in it to justify a new version.
They didn't put any new features in it.
No.
They put it. They said they have all of this new functionality. Every other slicer on the planet has it.
Already has it.
Yep.
Yeah.
They've done nothing new.
I agree.
The number one feature that I like that it had is whenever I print a helmet, I do auto supports. And then I turn the helmet over and I go click, 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 click for an hour. And I uncheck every single inside support, just leaving everything else around it. On the new version, you wipe them away real quick. That's cool. But other than that,
Yeah, there was, in my personal opinion, over and above what I have to produce in terms of content, I don't think that this was the leap forward that they hoped it was going to be. They basically took what was already out there, incorporated it into what they had, and said, okay, here you go, give us your money now.
Yeah, they should, if they introduced functionality that was groundbreaking, people would buy it. And the price they're charging for it, $200, that's wrong, right?
Let me get this right this time. 3DP UK, hello. Because I always say 3DP puck or 3D puck, but yeah, 3DP UK, how you doing?
But so did they if they introduced something fantastically groundbreaking, then okay. Even $200 is still too much, but it would have been good, and people might have paid for the functionality.
All they needed was one standout feature, and they just don't have it.
Add belt printers, for instance.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't. It doesn't have endless Z support.
I don't know, but I heard it doesn't support belt printers.
But that's not a standout feature. I mean, you need to add something that nobody else has.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if they brought in the like for $30, if they added the functionality, if they paid $30, and they thanks then, Mariner. But they had that, and they brought in the functionality where what like you can do on Bamboo Labs and what you can do on Prusa, where you can paint the area and say, I want this to be sent to extruder too if you have an IDEX machine. Fantastic. That would be nice. And I'd pay $30 for that, because the slicers I generally use, I don't like Prusa slicer. The UI annoys the hell out of me. I'm a product manager, and if my engineers offered up a product that looked like that, I'd fire them and find new engineers, right?
Well, you got to understand that Prusa is built on Slice 3R.
It is,
or
yes.
Slick 3R.
But they haven't developed it. They haven't enhanced this much. They've added functionality, but the UI is old, it's clunky, it's hard to navigate, right?
I agree with you 100% on that.
If they revamped the UI, and like if they had, let's put it this way: if they took Prusa Slicer, S3D took Prusa Slicer, and took all the functionality of Prusa Slicer and made it look like theirs, like with their UI, it would be 10 times better than what they're offering today. That's all they had to do, and it'd be 10 times better.
What's going on, Andrew? How you been?
Well,
come join us.
Been pretty busy actually. Not on the printing side, because I'll be moving soon. So I've got 11 printers that I need to go and take over to my brother's, because he actually lives near the new place. So I've been packing everything, and I've printed 2 things in the past 6 months. That's it. Now everyone knows two objects.
And you call yourself a maker? How dare you?
Exactly. Well, on saying that, I did.
Let's take the maker stamp away from him.
Yeah. Within that time, I did go and get a King Room KP3S, because I got it on special offer for £90. What was really good.
Nice. Okay, but you know what you're going to do right now? You're going to go get an envelope, get your maker card, put it in there, and ship it. You're not allowed to have it anymore.
Well, see, I did some cool stuff though, right? So there was a model that was going, what I wanted for ages, and it was of an Iron Man helmet. This was tiny. This was like this, yeah. So I modified it and made it so that I can actually put in the amount of SD cards that you would generally have for a 3D printer. But not only that, close that up.
Oh, cool.
I also put in the back, so that I can put my USB readers at the back as well.
That's a nice design.
So
that is a nice design.
Nice.
So I've modified it quite a bit so that now I can fit a lot more in. The mechanism didn't work too well, so I fixed the mechanism on it, so now it actually works. So it does close. So yeah, so that's what I've done. The other one I can't show because it was a Christmas present and I've given it away. But it was an original Ford Ranger truck. And obviously this person, I bought them gift vouchers. I was like, I don't want to do the usual thing of just give them a card, gift vouchers in.
Yeah.
So what I did is it was a shell of the Ford Ranger. It was the old one. So it was a Mark II, I think it was. And he's always wanted a Ford Ranger. So I was like, oh, I bought you a Ford Ranger. I said, it's an old one. So he was really excited. And then obviously I gave it to him. And he's like, wow, this is amazing. And I said, fold it in half. And he's like, what do you mean? I went, fold the cab in half. So as he folded it in half, he pulled out the gift cards and the inside of it. And he was really chuffed with it. And I was like, well, that's...
Are you going to release the design for that helmet and stuff?
Yeah, I will do once I've gone, because I'm actually doing another helmet as well. So I'll do the Iron Man one. I'll be doing the upgraded version of the Iron Man one. So I think I'm going to do the Mark 42. So that will actually fit on there. And I'm doing the Cade 6 from Destiny. So I'll be doing that one as well. But his one's different because the entire helmet opens up and the jaw stays still. So it's the actual top part of the helmet that lifts. Not with that one, you pull down on the jaw and the front faceplate lifts.
Like a full face motorcycle helmet where the whole thing flips up.
Yeah, that's it. So the whole front will flip up. So Andrew, I've been working on that.
When you've got those available, let me know, because I'd like to add one of those into my top 50 prints for 2023 as I go through and do my prints this year.
Yeah, no props. So I'm doing a few versions of them because I like the design, I like the idea, but when you were pulling on it, it literally would snap.
Sergio.
So I went.
It was quite a small helmet. The original model was very small. Yeah,
I had the original one.
Yeah. The other thing that I was modeling, and I've only just put this together is this.
Oh,
now obviously it hasn't got cap. Now anyone who plays Destiny probably knows what this is. And
my
also,
son does, so I know what it is from that.
A ghost.
Yeah, so it's a Destiny Ghost. This hasn't been put all together because this is my prototype, but
We got on the bearing.
so it's got a bear. Well, actually, it's not bearing. It's all 3D printed. So it is.
Oh, okay.
Planetary. Yeah.
So, and then what that means is I've got these little LED filaments, and that's why it's got a cap here. So this obviously was the test so that I could see if it would work. That obviously goes in there and fits in there. That will be resin 3D printed with a cat's eye on it. And then on the inside of that, that's why I've got that little pull tab. On the inner side of this, we'll have an LED filament with 2 button cell batteries on the inside. And then obviously it means that you can still move the entire piece and the eye will still light up.
Yeah. In a minute, I'll be too long.
Nice.
In a minute.
So that's another thing I've been working on. That was for a friend who really liked Destiny. I've done more things, like I've got the K6 helmet, and obviously it's got its ears and all that, so the ears
Very
obviously
nice.
get on there as well. But yeah.
Why not replace it with a lithophane? The eye.
Well, it's because this has got depth, so it's a 3D, and because it's actually because it's got this shape, I was going to try and do a lithophane print with that shape, but by the time you've actually done the eye, I wanted it so that, because at the back, see how it's got that cut?
Mm-hmm.
What I can do is then I can fill that cut with black resin and cure it, so then I can have the front clear, that
with
piece
the black
black,
iris inside,
and then I can stick just a printed picture of the iris of a cat's eye over the back of it, and then when it lights up, it shines all the way through. So you get 3 different layered effects. So
yeah, not when you use the black. If you use too much black, it will not shine through because black is mostly
Jerry,
lots of pigments in it.
I see it. Hold on.
yeah,
And
but that's what he wants. He wants that solid.
Reading P UK, thank you very much for the super sticker. That's very awesome.
Cool. Sounds cool what you're
Thank
doing.
you very much.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Eyes up, Guardian.
Hey, Betty Boop. Everybody say hi to Betty Boop.
Hey, Betty Boop.
Hey, Brandy.
Last week,
your boyfriend's here, but Brandy, your boyfriend's here.
Yeah, Kieran's there.
Here you go, Andrew. That's I think similar to the one you had.
Yeah.
Right.
There you go.
Here you go.
Very nice.
Let's have a blast from
Hello,
the past,
boyfriend.
shall we?
You see
Oh
that
yeah. Oh
Here?
yeah. Yeah, I remember that one.
Oh, cool. Yeah,
I
I remember that.
This is when he first started and he was doing the competition. So
Yeah. My Fantasy City, I think was
Fantasy
it.
City.
Hey, they're
yeah.
hybrid robot.
So
Robotics.
that was the one that I won on Honey Badger.
Jerry's. No,
Was it?
Jerry.
Was it Jerry's?
Jerry.
Oh, it was Jerry's.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
I
was it in the
think
giveaway.
Honey
yeah.
Yeah, Honey Badger, I was giving away filament rolls.
That was it. I never won the filament rolls. I won a magnetic PEI sheet. That's what it was that I won on that one.
All right.
So, and he sent me a hoodie because I always used to help him out when he got started. So,
And then Andrew won a Focus glass bed, which he sent me, and I wanted to sell that Focus about a week ago. I sold that Focus printer with it.
yeah, I was going to sell mine as well. I've got to get rid of a few of them.
Is
I'm
it
getting
cold
that
there,
one
Jerry?
again too.
I don't know. I'm chilly for some reason. I had that COVID shot yesterday, but for some reason I'm chilly right now.
No, that'll do
No,
it.
that's why.
The shot will do it. The shot
You know-
will do it. Yeah,
You're not.
Speaking of 3D
your
printers,
body's
guys.
reacting to the shot.
yeah, that's what it
So
is.
it's building. It's reacting like you got the real infection, even though it doesn't. It's
Yeah.
actually building immunity is what it's doing.
Go ahead, Richard.
So speaking of 3D printers, I want to share this image with you. Oh, wrong one. Why did it close?
Nice desktop.
Could have been worse. Could have been worse. Yeah.
It's not the one that's supposed to be up. Come on.
Okay, let me
This
know
is
when you get it. Let me know when you get it there. I'll pull it back up. That one?
The one that should be up
Oh,
now.
Wrong date, but okay.
Okay, here you go.
There we go.
Wow.
On what printer is that?
That you know how we were
Concept.
talking earlier in the pre-show about 3D renders? This is
Yep.
another 3D render from AI.
Yeah, that's an AI generated one. I've seen those. Have you seen the other one with the flow? It's, you get the fusion, you get that what is it called? The analyzer, what thins out all of the metal. So you have like a straight metal L bracket, and then it turns it into these kind of like tree support. It looks like the AI did one of those, and it looks absolutely beautiful.
What
in
what
movies,
AI
it's hard
are
to
you
tell
using
what's real
for those images
anymore.
now, Richard?
I'm sorry, what was that?
What AI are you using for those images?
The one that I'm using is actually part of, let me just see if I can pull it up. It's on Discord. It's called Midjourney.
Oh, yeah, I know Midjourney, yeah.
Yeah, Midjourney. I've been using Midjourney to do this. And this one, I showed my wife this one this morning, and she thought this was the coolest looking one she's ever seen. I now want to build a printer like this.
Yeah, about to say. And now construction starts at Rich's place.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Actually, that would be a kind of cool printer to do. Yeah. It would actually.
Nice.
Doing that as a Core XY, that would be amazing.
Do a Core XY with 4-point leveling on the bed, right? On a Core XY, and then actually do a Core XYU with a 4-point leveling.
Yes.
For that size, a Core
and then
XY
just build the shell.
It'd be an IDEX Core XY.
Yeah, the shells. Yeah.
Why not a 5-point?
No, 3 points make the plane. 4 points when level.
4 points for the
5
for
points
the size.
Gets in the way.
Yeah.
Just gets in the way.
Unless you're going to travel through time, that's when you need the fifth element, right? The fifth point.
No, I'm thinking about that the platform.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got Sergio HVAC dropping in. Hey, Sergio.
Hey, Sergio. Happy New Year.
Hey, guys, let me turn the volume down on this other thing.
Right.
See, this is the platform. The platform that it moves, and this moves like this. You know what I mean? And
no, that's not okay. We're talking about a leveling. You're talking about a 5-axis.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. 5-axis printer.
Yeah, well,
that
would need to have a hot end like the Bamboo Labs does, because to do and like the only real point of a 5-axis is the best way is either a robotic arm to do 5-axis 3D printing, or to do non-planar, and you wouldn't need a 5-axis for non-planar because you just use a very long hot end like the Bamboo Labs does, which would be good for non-planar printing.
Well, see, before I had done a design of a ceramic actual hot end. So the nozzle is encapsulated in this hot end, and then they came out with it. So I was looking into China to see if they could do these hot ends. Basically, it's a band heater in ceramics, what actually attaches onto the nozzle. So you're getting the heat.
There is a new type of heater I've seen out there. I haven't seen it actually being heavily used or anywhere, but it actually uses induction. So it has a coil wrapped around the hot end, and it has magnetic resonance around it, and it uses electrical conduction or induction to create an electric current around the hot end. So the hot end can be as long as you want, right? And then you have the coil wrapped around it, and then the electrical induction gives you a long heating chamber. So for it'd be great for pellet extruders. It would be great for non-planar. It'd be great for anywhere where you're going to use an impeller to actually dry filament, like a pellet extruder or something like that. Or it'd be great for robotic arms that need to get into really tight space when it's moving, when it's printing.
The only
and they'd be ideal for that. I've seen a design out there for those.
Yeah, the only problem you have with that is the magnetic electrolysis that actually happens in between it means that it can actually interfere. So you can't use standard stepper motors. You have to have insulated motors to actually use those.
Yes,
because what actually happens is if you put a stepper motor next to an electromagnet, it actually will turn the motor.
It affects the steps.
It will do, because they get
need to be EMI. You need to have EMI shielded motors. Yes, you would.
Yeah. I remember looking into that before, and it was like, but I got in contact with a Chinese representative in the manufacturing district, and they were talking about these heaters, and it was who was it again? E3D had started looking at them, and the Pico, is it the Pico? The Revo, it has that quick swap hot end, but it has that plastic all the way around it.
Yeah,
that's how they designed the idea for that. Was because originally they were actually going to put the band heater cartridge around it. So I think they have done a prototype. There is actual designs out there, but I was thinking of that years ago, and I was trying to look into it, and there's not a lot of manufacturers that make these. So how did anyone else start to figure out that this is a good idea? So yeah, I should have gone with it, because then I could have, sold it off to E3D or something like that. But it's always that time where you're like, yeah, I don't think it's a good idea, and then you see someone else do it, and you're like, actually, that was a good idea.
Damn.
Yeah.
I was watching Nero's live stream a couple days ago about the Bamboo Labs and not having thermal runaway, and then he came back this morning, said yes, it does, but it takes 3 minutes to time out. And in the meantime, everything is up to 300 C. It's getting really hot, and that's not good. So Bamboo Labs needs to fix that problem. It's 3 minutes. Sitting there for 3 minutes red hot is too long.
Well, a few things
shades of Tim's baby printer again. The whole inch fell out of it. Yeah.
It's different. Yeah. The baby printer didn't have any thermal runaway, but the issue they're having.
No, about 3 minutes. 3 minutes. That didn't take 3 minutes to do.
Evidently,
what it did, so.
When you pull off the silicone sock, it's got a clip that holds in the heater and thermistor. Yeah. When you pull off the sock, not realizing it, you're going to pull off that clip. Thermistor is going to pop off. Then you're going to get a thermal runaway right away. It doesn't have any kind of a screw to hold it in, according to what I've been told. I don't know firsthand.
Well, here's the issue about the 300 degrees and the 3 minutes. If it reaches 300 degrees, a few things are going to happen.
300 C, not 300 degrees.
Well, 300 degrees C, right? We're talking printers. Everything is C in printers. So when you reach 300 degrees on the hot end on those printers, and you're printing PLA, and once you reach 270, PLA can actually flash ignite. So if you're doing PLA prints, you got a problem. Secondly, if it doesn't ignite, PLA at 270 degrees or higher will crystallize in the hot end, rendering the hot end useless, because it'll get so hot that it'll turn to a crystal and will not revert back to a gelatinous state ever, right? Because it crystallizes over 270 degrees with PLA. Now, it's not going to give off poisonous fumes until it starts burning, which is again is at 270 or higher. So if you're primarily doing PLA prints, you just run into the gamut of issues you can run into all in one print.
Yeah.
Right? And they're saying that the cutoff temperature is based on a temperature rather than it should be relative to the material, the temps you set for the material that you programmed into the printer. So if I want to print at 210 and it hits 250, it should be cutting it off. Right? Not waiting till it reaches 300 when it goes way past the glass temperature, way past the
temperature differential, not a set point. Yeah, it is differential.
Yeah, it should be based on the temperature of the print temperature you've set for the material. Because like if you're doing there's materials out there you can buy today that actually print below PLA temperatures.
Yeah,
and those will ignite at those temperatures. So they have to fix that. It should be relative to the material temp you set. Not a fixed temperature and not a fixed time.
Let me interrupt. You done? I'm interrupting you, so you're done.
I'm done now.
we got a man in the back room that has been very sick. He's had some major issues, which I didn't know about. He didn't know about it till recently. He done a quick video last week on YouTube about it, and he's here today. I'd like to welcome you, Rob Mink, everybody.
Howdy, buddy.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, guys. Doing well, thanks. How are y'all?
That's good.
Real good. How are you feeling?
Good. I'm feeling so much better. I'm on a heavy dose antibiotics, and I'm bouncing back.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, I had no energy. I was really
sick. So he's smiling so much now because of all the drugs.
You said you had Rocky Mountain spotted fever, and what else was it?
Rocky Mountain spotted fever and Lyme, and I didn't know I had either one of these.
Oh, wow. Wonderful combination.
Yeah, I had no energy.
You get bitten by a tick.
Yep.
Hmm.
Ticks will get you every time, man.
Yeah.
If they weren't such an important part of the food source for animals, I think we should eradicate them.
Yeah. Well, that's why possums are great. They eat like thousands of them a day or something like that, if I understand.
Possums are great, birds and so on. They eat a whole mountains of them as well. Yeah.
But I went from working half days every day and just not able to do anything else to I'm like actually went out and fixed my car today and went to the dump and functioned. Cool. It was great.
Okay, I have to ask you a question, a follow-on question.
Yeah.
You didn't go to the dump to get the parts to fix your car, did you?
Did they diagnose both at the same time, or did find one first and then they found the other doing the tests? Because that's an interesting combination. Yeah.
They found them both at the same time.
You know what I used to like
good.
about
That's good.
what I used to like about going to the dump and dumping stuff is when you pull up, if they don't direct you where to park, you try to look where the good stuff is and park next to it. So as you're unloading, you can reload some good stuff. You never know what to find.
Yeah. Bring back more than you took away.
I'm out in the country, so there's no trash collection. So it's literally pull up on a compressor and unload your stuff, and then anything that's decent people leave on top of the trash compressor that other people can take. Thank you so much, Betty.
Oh, Llama's here. Did someone say llama?
Don't let him in. Don't let him in.
Hello, Dum Dum. How are you doing?
Too late. He's here.
There's a link for anybody else would like to drop in. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Sergio, did you get the coin tester yet?
I haven't seen it. I haven't checked today's mail yet, but I don't think it's come yet.
Okay, then I will put the other one in the mail on Monday. And I'll
Hey, Richard. Hello. How are you?
Okay.
Hey, Richard.
Las Vegas. Here, that's a great place to visit.
I got kicked out of Vegas the last time I was there.
Oh, I never showed you this, guys. You all know I'm a science nerd.
No, really?
No, really?
Ike?
You never tell us.
I know. No. I don't advertise it enough.
We wouldn't know otherwise, yeah.
From Argentina.
Nice.
Meteorite. Yeah.
Piece of a
on chondrite.
It's a meteorite.
You think it's real? Yeah. You think it's a real meteorite?
It's octahydrite.
Yeah.
It is.
Definitely. Yeah. You say it was 9 chondrite?
It's an octahydrite, a coarse one.
Yep.
Wow.
But
I can do that in the
a big one a big meteorite and it's actually nickel iron core. So it's actually the core of a dead planet, is what it is.
So very dense, very heavy. Yeah.
This small thing is really heavy. That's 44 grams in weight.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, so I actually have a meteorite.
Nice.
You got to break it open. There might be alien DNA inside of it.
If I need aliens, Jerry, I'll call you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we make sure they're gonna probe you first.
Nothing good probing to start the day.
Well, here's my thoughts on that.
When you get over 50, it happens a lot. So I've been probed a bunch. They haven't bought me breakfast for nothing.
I feel you, Jerry. I'm there too.
The only thing nice about it,
haven't got that problem no more. There's no need to probe me.
When you go to sleep, you wake up thinking, okay, when are you going to start? Every single time I woke up, I thought, okay, when are you going to start? And I was already in recovery.
Well, okay, Jerry, question.
Remember, at your age, when you go to the doctor, always ask for the destination of that finger.
Yeah.
Jerry, and Jerry, don't forget to ask him to take you out on a date first. You want to be wined and dined.
Sergio's got a box in his hands.
That points at me.
Some of the stuff I'm sending you, I've been packing the boxes, all these paints. They're brand new. You can use that stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Very nice. Thank you.
Want to make sure.
Are these spastics paints?
Huh?
Were they spastics or were they
wicked?
Wicked paints.
I was going to start painting models, and I just realized, I don't have the time for it. So I'm just going to. I bought this probably about a year ago and never put any of it to use. They're still sealed.
Yeah, I was going to start painting models too, and then I realized it needed skill, so I stopped.
You don't need skill to paint.
Trust me, I do.
That helps, Richard. It does help. Trust me.
It does.
I think I've done a good paint job on this one.
Okay,
looks good.
If you want somebody to paint your wall, Richard, I'm the man. If you want somebody to paint detail, sorry, call somebody else. If it can't be put on
that's why I'm cheap. You don't need paint.
It can't be done.
You don't need paint.
Check it out. Let's see that.
Oh, look at
Who needs paint?
Wow.
Right?
That's a model.
You do beautiful work.
that looks good.
That's not painted. That's different color.
That's not painted. That's all filament.
Oh, that's all.
So you need 30.
That's all different filament. Yeah, there is no painting involved. That's different filament.
Beautiful. Amazing.
Right down to his match. Yeah, right. There's match.
And it wasn't a multicolor printer. It's like every single part.
Yeah, every single piece is printed individually.
Yep.
Wow.
You do not need skill to paint.
No.
This is
patience to paint.
And patience, yeah.
Practice.
That you just named the two things I have very little of.
Skill and patience, yeah.
You don't need skill. You just need patience and the ability to finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Now you've added three things I don't have.
Three things that Julian doesn't have.
I'm trying to think if there's actually anything in here that I have finished and painted, because it's usually like nope.
See,
Richard,
my idea of
you ever print
painting
Jabba the Hutt?
is
I started to print Jabba the Hutt,
and
it kept failing on me, so I kind of put it on the back burner, and then of course life happened, and I never got back to it.
Okay.
But now that I've got some decent printers coming my way this year for review, I'm going to attempt it again, because it is quite a large model to do on, even a CR10, it's quite a large model to do. So I'd actually like to get a much bigger resin printer and do it in resin.
I've got a big printer if you want to do something, if you want to print something large.
Well, that doesn't help
Size isn't important, Liam.
Well, I can ship it to you. Who told you that? Whoever told you that, Kieran, is lying to you. But no, I have a 500 by 500 by 600 printer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Liam, and they don't make them anymore.
Here you go. As from your background, do you know Daniel O'Donnell?
I do, yeah. Do you know what we call him in Ireland, or what we used to call him in Ireland?
Danny boy.
No, thick country vegetable.
Oh yeah. Have you seen his new movie to his new song?
No, I haven't seen Daniel O'Donnell since I was a kid. And anything he ever wrote as a kid.
Yeah.
There we go. There's Jabba. There we go.
There's
it was this guy here who did the scan and the print of his face.
I'd sack the maid if I was you, Jerry. I'd sack the maid.
Leia's face, I completely screwed up on the paint on her face, but the rest of it came out pretty good.
It looks great, Jerry. It looks great.
That's the model I was talking to Richard about right here.
Oh my God.
We were all impressed until you blew the dust off it.
Yeah, that's the bad thing about having models. You got to take an air compressor and blow them off at time to time.
Yeah. That's
So
why
what
you
were you
got
saying about
enclosed plastic shelves.
What were you saying about Daniel O'Donnell?
Yeah, so I can say now, because obviously it's been released, but I was working with a film company and got given the scans of his face. Now the problem is that I gave them very specific instructions of how to scan someone's face. For one, to have good lighting. For two, to put a bald cap on him. And for three, to not have anything that is coming off of his person, basically. And they decided to go against all of those. So it took me 2 hours to resculpt his entire head, because I had to get rid of all of his hair, because obviously he's got hair, and make him bald, and then scale it up ever so slightly off of his measurements so that masks can be made for the movie. So my friend, he's a sculptor. He does real effects grade silicon props and things like that. And he was asked, well, can you make, I think it was like 13 masks that he needed to do. So obviously it was trained professionals that came in, and what they needed to do is put on these silicon faces and act like Daniel O'Donnell. So obviously that's what all of this was.
Oh, the shame of it.
Yeah, so I had to actually go and speak to Daniel O'Donnell. Then I had to get in contact with the film company, and then they came out and obviously was like, oh yeah, well, this is what we've got. This is the scan we've got. And it was a terrible scan, but it was literally because Daniel O'Donnell is quite obviously famous and very busy. It was like, you've only got literally this week when we can have him for a day. When then it turned to, oh, we've only got him for 2 hours. So I only got 2 scans, and both of them were really bad. But
let me interrupt real quick. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Jamie, Homemade Jam 3D coming in. Hey, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie. Hey, Jamie. How's it going?
Oh, there's Jamie again.
Oh,
hey, Jamie.
my camera.
So those who don't know Daniel O'Donnell is an Irish country singer.
I'll go get him.
He's an Irish singer, but he's a country singer. He sings country music, country style music. And there was when I was young, there's no like if you were 80 years old, you used to like his songs, right? Even though when he was young, you have to be.
So you're close then, Liam. That's okay.
And we had you've heard of Knorr soups, right? Or Campbell soups. The joke in Ireland at the time was that Knorr or Campbell have created a soup named after Daniel O'Donnell, and they call it thick country vegetable.
Hey, Jamie.
You need to have blue hair, blue rinse in your hair to really appreciate his music.
You're just gonna have to talk over Liam.
Yeah, talk over him.
I'll mention in a minute.
So there you go. That's Daniel O'Donnell.
Oh, that's cool.
He's changed a lot since I last saw him.
Well, obviously he has a lot of hair. This was after I had to go in and resculpt the entire model so that I could make a mask of him.
You must remember the last time I've seen him, an image of him, I was 12.
So now's your chance, Jamie. Quick, Liam's taking a breath.
Yeah, Jamie, on the GK2, I was talking about the FEP, the end FEP being really thin, and I had a couple holes in it. And what they're selling is thinner, and they want too much money for it. So I got hold of Dotbit on Facebook, and they sent me out some different sizes. And what wound up fitting for a screen protector is for the ePax X10. They sent me a 3-pack from Dotbit. Now it doesn't have the self-adhesive all the way around, and I had to take my cutter like you have in grade school, and I had to cut off 1/4 inch on 2 sides. I peeled off the old one. I left that sticky crap on there, and I restuck it. I used Captain Tape on the front and back to make sure it stayed down. It worked, but unfortunately, with that resin printer, you drop down the vat, you push it back to lock it in, and once I lock it in, I can't get it back out. So I literally had to take a screwdriver on each side and pry to make it come forward. So there's suction there somewhere between the tape and the FEP, the 2 sheets. I sure wish they had screws and you could lift them up, because I'm having trouble removing it, even though I have a better material on there.
I don't know
what thickness is that?
I've not had any of the problems that you have. My only problem is the heater issue that they're having, and they're sending out a fix for that. You fix it by just not using the heater. So I run it with the lid open, which I do time-lapse videos anyway most of the time, so I have the lid open anyway.
What's the heater issue?
I don't know the actual issue, but it's causing, I think I've thrown everything away. When the heater kicks on, because it has a thermostat, so it wants to keep it at 76 degrees. And we've been cold here. So our house, usually we keep around 68 degrees. So it goes on and off a lot. And every time that heater goes either on or off, to get it to temperature, it's making a layer line. So
that's bang bang heating.
Yeah.
Same as you have an FDM on the heater bed. You get layers because the bed heating and cooling. Instead of being PID tuned, it's actually using a bang bang system like your oven.
Off, on.
Well,
and that off on and the fluctuation in temperature creates a layer lines in your prints.
She said it's caused by where the location is. So she's sending. I don't know. She's sending me out something different.
That sounds weird to me. No, because what it's doing is by coming on and heating up to a certain temperature, it's warming the resin and making the resin more liquefied, and then it's cooling down and thickening it up, and then warming up to go liquid, and then thickening and so on.
It may be the probe location. Maybe moving the probe for the.
It could have been the probe location, but if they're doing bang bang heating, that will create those layer lines. As a PID will not do that because it closely monitors the temperature.
Yeah, but with a bang bang, you can actually do a.
But as far as the FEP, not had an issue with that. I don't usually remove the vat for any reason because I'm like I'm printing now, Mega's new model, the Ghost in the Shell. So I just print with white, and that seems to be my favorite. And I love their resin. If you're not using their resin, I don't know, but their resin is literally like skim milk. It's super thin.
I tried some Sunlu the other day. I've never used Sunlu resin before. Very well packaged, printed great. They're gray. I
use Sunlu in my Anycubic printer.
Yeah.
Hey, Kenda.
Hey, Kenda. Hello. How are you?
Hey, Kenda.
Yeah. So on FDM printers, you can hit the same issues if they use bang bang heating on the bed.
I think CNC Kitchen did a video on that like 6-8 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a problem. Whereas if you
I just run this little heater right there.
Yeah, you see.
Yep.
Usually with the door open or with the door shut.
How cold is it outside?
Today it's not bad. Today is like probably high 50s.
I'd be like people in Michigan would be out in shorts and t-shirts and that.
Yeah, no, my husband's from Montana.
No, that's people in Canada.
We and in Michigan is the same. Like when it gets really you could be 2 feet of snow on the ground, and people will be outside the garage barbecuing food in shorts and t-shirts.
The only reason Richard changes from shorts to long pants is because the snow's got that high and it's a bit brisk.
It's chilling the kneecaps.
No, it's not the kneecaps that are chilling.
When I was having the hardest time keeping it warm in here was when we were getting like wind chills of -30 a couple weeks ago. So.
Oh, that's like our normal winter, yeah.
Where do you live, Jamie?
I'm in Arkansas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vegas.
We got Canada.
Yeah, Canada gets really bitter.
Hey, how many people seen Kieran's video just freak out just now?
I saw
he's getting a video glitch every now and again.
Okay, remember last week I thought my camera was going bad because I was occasionally getting glitches? Well, today I've only seen that on Kieran's camera, so it must be a StreamYard problem.
Must be because I'm not seeing this. Is it happening in both YouTube and Twitch or just YouTube?
I'm only seeing it in StreamYard only. I don't know if people out there can see it.
YouTube, I saw it too.
Did anybody in chat see that on Twitch or YouTube? I'm only seeing it in StreamYard.
I saw it into YouTube.
So Richard, we get similar weather.
Yeah.
Because I'm in Michigan. We're far enough north to get similar weather.
Where I grew up in Manitoba, it's northern Manitoba, which is north of the 53rd parallel. So we had 2 seasons: winter and not winter. That's it.
Winter and almost winter.
But see, I love living in Singapore, because in Singapore you have 2 seasons.
Hot and damn hot.
3.
Let's sing Rob a lullaby.
Hot and dry and hot and windy. That's the 3 season options you get in Singapore.
Oh, yeah. Then the monsoon comes and then it's hot and wet.
That's the hot and wet season, and then you have non-monsoon. It's hot and dry, and because they're so close to the equator, the monsoon, as you know, is a band above and below the equator, right? And Michigan is close enough that it actually gets hit by the band. Sorry, not Michigan. Singapore is close enough to the equator. It gets hit by the band twice, right, as it crosses over and back. It's only 168 miles north of the equator. And then you get the windy in February or March.
This Wicked diehard model, he sliced it, of course, multiple ways: pre-supported, not supported, 2 pieces, 1 piece, different ways. In one of his files, the whole model was broke up and sliced upright with gaps in between each piece, but you couldn't separate them. It was one file, and it was really odd that it was all gapped that way. It's like, why did he do that unless it was a mistake? You can't separate them, but it was like a picture. Yeah, it was like a picture, but it was an STL where they're all broken apart. And
bring it into your slicer.
Did you
put it into the Cura or Idea Maker and right clicking it to go to mesh options? Right clicking it, click mesh option and say divide by part. And when actually split up by part, and you can move them around separately.
Okay,
and
or you can just do it in your slicer.
I used the different versions. He has multiple ways. I just thought that might have been a mistake, and I didn't want to question him about it. So
I'll be right back. I gotta go order pizza for the grandkids. Be right back.
All right.
That's your story, Sergio. Yeah,
I think we should let Rob talk because we sing him a lullaby. He's about to fall asleep.
Actually,
it's
guys,
the drugs.
That's a little bit of it.
That's a little bit.
Just a little bit.
A lot of it.
But no, I want to thank Jerry and everything else for having me in. I think I may actually hop out. There's some baby belt stuff going on in a couple minutes in my Discord channel, and then I may take a nap and I may hop back in. I don't know, but I wanted to hop in and just say hi and see how everybody's doing, and then, like I said, I may be back in like a half an hour, 45 minutes, depending on how stuff goes.
All right. Well, hope you start feeling better.
Good
Thank you
to
for
see you.
dropping
Glad
in,
to got diagnosis and you're on the mend, which is great.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much
Take
for
care,
dropping
Rob.
in.
Have a good one.
Thanks again.
Take
I'll
care.
probably be back.
Bye,
So,
Rob.
all right.
Yeah, Scott Latine. Everybody here is a great maker. We always have on interesting people, and you're welcome to drop in and add to that pool of great makers.
Well, you said, is this for the great makers chat? Well, I don't know about that, about the great makers statement, but yeah.
Non-fam gave
You've
you
got
that.
me
And then
here.
there's Liam.
And then there's me. That's right, Jamie. That's right.
Hell, people don't even know who I am
This is the
anymore. I
Liam
was gone
show.
for
We
so
all just
long.
get to hang out with him.
That's it. And abuse them.
Richard and Brian every Saturday, and they used to be on, I think, Tuesday. And yeah, Richard's
Yeah,
been
we
around
used to.
forever.
Well, we were doing Saturdays were our big days, and then I would do my regular
Events.
recorded show on Tuesdays, and then that got all switched around, and it became a quick mess and a hot mess, and then we switched to Sundays at noon, which was quite popular. We actually were doing pretty good at noon, and then it just 2022 was just a, pardon the way I'm going to put this, but a shitstorm, and we just Brian is gone his own way, as many people know, and I don't know if he's going to be doing live streaming on anything in the near future. I maybe talk to him once a month, if that, at this point, because he's so busy. But yeah, as far as my schedule goes, I'm back on every Sunday at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and just trying to help people with their problems. So not emotional or physical. It's all about your 3D printing problems.
I'll be here till the day I die, unfortunately. So,
well, Jerry, you were one of my very early subscribers when I started my channel. That's how you and I met.
Yeah, you were posting on Sanix's group, and you were just starting to go live, and you kept trying to get me on, and I didn't want to come on camera. And then when I did, for the longest time, I would get really nervous going on camera. So I'm trying to set everything up, and I was actually nervous. And then after about 5 minutes of screaming, I was fine. It ain't a big deal now, but it used to get me nervous.
And now we can't shut him up.
No.
So, but it's great having amazing makers on all the time, talking about your projects you're working on or what you want to do. Because sometimes in videos, you can't really say what you want to say, or you're trying to keep to a strict script about that printer.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a great way to verbally chat with other people instead of typing it or email or whatever. You can just get on camera and chit chat. So it's kind of nice.
Well, it's been a long time since I did a live stream on a build. So tomorrow's live stream is going to be interesting for me to see how organized I really am.
Oh, here's some advice about your live stream tomorrow, and this happens to everybody. If you ask a question in chat or whatever, you say something, by the time you read it, it might be 5 minutes later, and you're gonna like, what's that? You won't know what that is regarding, because that was something you might have said 5 minutes ago and you've already moved on. But chat, you just now catch up to it in chat. So
yeah. Well, my next live on I will say it's an unboxing rather than a build, because it's gonna be it's the P1P, which is it arrives Wednesday, so next Sunday I'm going to do an unboxing of it. But so it's not really going to be there's no printer to assemble. You take it out of the box, you undo a few screws, you plug it in, and you hit go, right? Well, the theory is anyway. So we'll find out how true it is.
Well, I got to tell you, this thing's been...
It should work for you, Liam, so it should be okay.
This thing's been sitting here since Tuesday, and I've been like a kid at Christmas going underneath mom and dad's bed trying to find all my gifts. My wife says, "You just have no patience, man. I want to open it up and build it now and then say to hell with tomorrow."
Yeah,
just do my regular show. But I did commit to doing an unboxing and a build live, so I'll do that.
Yeah, I think I might do some builds in the future. I have some builds in the future. I haven't figured out what to do yet. It comes and goes in waves, when companies want to work with you, and the beginning of a year is often hardest.
Yeah.
And then you get into mid-year, it kind of speeds up a little bit, and then get near the end of the year again, it slows down because they're winding up their years and all this kind of stuff happens. So
Liam, it's funny that you say that, because since I've kind of come back in December, and I was really strong in December, my email has been blowing up with people that want me to review their printers.
Good.
And while I like reviewing printers, it's not the main focus of what I do. My main focus is to help people get through their 3D printing issues, whether that be with, hardware, software, or materials. And it doesn't matter if it's FDM or if it's resin. I mean, I pretty much got all those bases covered. But at the end of the day, I still do need to show the community what is out there and what there is to offer for 3D printing.
And I think what's on offer, there's going to be some changes to it.
Yes.
I've read good and bad about Bamboo Labs. I've said some people who get machines and they're rock stars out of the box. I've had other people who are running into a lot of problems with them. So there's a mixture of it's a mixed bag out there. Let's be okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I think some of what they're introducing is stirring a little bit of stirring the pot a little bit in the industry,
which is what you want. That's what you want.
What's needed, badly needed.
And that price range they're selling it at, especially.
Well, I'll question a little bit on the price range a little bit, right? But I think what's going to happen is some of what they're doing is going to be implemented by other companies at lower price points. Yeah. But as long as they do it right, it'll be good for the industry, right?
Well, like the Sobol $290 printer, it's just like the Prusa, but it took a long time.
Exactly, the STO3, the STO6.
Yeah.
Right? That stuff like that's going to happen, right? I think Core XY is going to become more and more prevalent, and it needs to be because a bed slinger is a bed slinger, and there's limitations on what you can do with it.
Yeah.
And that does drive costs up a little bit, but the overall outcome and results of what you get is better. But
if anybody lives in Las Vegas, I'm selling my CR10 Max for $500. Works perfect. I put it up on Marketplace last week for 2 days, took it down, changed my mind yesterday, and I reposted it because I want to get the P1P, and that's $500 on that printer would get me most of the way there. So local pickup only, CR10 Max. The build volume is 470 by 470 by 470. The firmware has been modified by Tiny Machines in Texas instead of being 450 by 450, and you can do a Star Wars R2D2 dome on it, just barely. So but I'm not going to skip that.
Yeah, sorry, Jerry. Ozzy, yeah, I know Prusa printers never have been, and in all with Prusa machines, you do pay for support as well, and I will.
Oh, absolutely.
That, right? Their support is fantastic, but I think if they don't change to something along the lines of what I know, the XL is going to be is a big thing, but it's anywhere between $2,000 and $4,000, right, or $2,000 and $3,500, right? I think they need to find something more mid-market because if they don't, companies who are coming out with something like Bamboo Labs that is take it out of the box, plug it in, and it works.
They just need to release it after 2 years and let people test them, review them, put them through their paces, and then figure it out from there.
Well, yeah, but I think if they don't change their strategy about doing smaller Core XY machines, because right now it's all bed slingers, they're going to go. Even though Bamboo Labs have not said the P1P is to compete against the MK3, you know what? The P1P is competing against the MK3, and if the P1P can live up to half of what they say it can do out of the box, the MK3 doesn't have much of a life left because the Prusa has been going by their name, and the P1P can actually kick its butt.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got the Prusa expert in the back room coming in.
That's fine.
Hey, how you doing?
You can't call it that anymore. You cannot call him the Prusa expert. But you know why? He sold them all for Bamboo Labs.
Yeah. That's it.
Is it my imagination, or are we sliding backwards in terms of build volume? Everything I'm seeing lately is all under 300 millimeters.
Well, no, there's another company who's coming out with something that looks and feels like it looks like a Bamboo Labs, but it's pure clipper. And now I haven't touched the machine. What they say
One second. We got another man in the back room, another guy from the UK that's got a funny name and he talks funny and he's like, "Hey, everybody, how you doing?"
Sam.
Like that.
Yeah,
I don't know if I talk funny.
Hey, Sam.
Hey. Oh, hey,
I've
wasn't
talk funny.
Yeah, they talk funny, Sam.
So correct me if I'm wrong, Stephen.
You're wrong.
Did we not 3 weeks ago talk about thermal runaway with the Bamboo Labs?
Buddy, Sam, you know what's funny though, because of you, I tested it and it worked.
Somebody's got feedback. We got YouTube turned on somewhere.
Another window.
It's on Steven's side.
It's me. I don't even have my microphone plugged in.
Well,
I didn't say
you're echoing.
You're the only one echoing.
Well, then I'll shut up.
Have you got Twitch open in another tab?
You just say you're going to shut up. Well, it would be a nice stream.
How you doing, Sam? How's it going, Stephen?
Oh, good, mate. Oh, very good. I'm moving studios at the moment, although you wouldn't know that because there's still a lot of stuff in here. So that's been a lot of fun this week. So moving from point to point, while also trying to move the business as well. So that's been kind of cool. And I've been able to dig out a load of printers that I've just had in storage for a while. So yeah, it's been. I've just kind of got to make some, like you, got to make some decisions on what kind of position I'm going to sort of move toward next. And it might mean more Bamboo Labs. Who knows?
Yeah, Sam, you tested. We tested that thermal runaway, and it worked for me. I was surprised to wake up to hear that this morning.
Yeah, Nero had problems.
Yeah, so basically what I did is I got a blockage. I got some bad filament, and it went into the hot end, and it wouldn't come out again. So I'd take the hot end to bits and melt the part out of it, but I disconnected it live. So thought nothing of it. And as I plugged it back in, I was like, surely that should have put some thermal runaway on there. And we're heating up to 300 degrees here. So when I plugged it all back in, and I messaged Steve, and I was like, listen, there's this thing. And obviously you tested yours and it was okay. But I don't know. It's weird. And I thought, oh, maybe it's just me then. So Nero's obviously tested it, and that's the thing. So, yeah, whatever.
Here's the issue with the way of it. Well,
3 minutes is way too long.
It may have it, but it takes too long. And it's not relative to the temperature you set on the material. They have a fixed temperature. PLA
sure. So
ignites
this is,
270.
I get that because I was listening to you earlier. But is this a case of Bamboo Labs not being 3D printing manufacturers long term, and then perhaps they're just not understanding? Don't get me wrong. I mean, they're super quick. Anything that they've done, they've been super quick to rectify, like alarming speeds.
It's a firmware fix. That's all it is. They need to have it. It needs to be if you go over and let's say 10 degrees over what you have fixed in the slicer for your print, then thermal runaway, maybe 20 degrees, thermal runaway should kick off. That's the way it should be done, right? So simple as that.
Is this the Liam shut the fuck up moment or what?
No, that's I have something to say.
Everyone putting their hand up.
Just a punch.
No, I think the echo's coming from Sam.
And people wonder why I put up with him.
Babe,
Oh my god.
Liam is talking bad about me.
Again, we know you forgot to add the again part.
Amazing.
Wow, Richard, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the $10.
So where are you up to, Jerry, on your P1P fund?
Well, I was up to about 400. Well, cash on hand, I had 360 on a couple printers I sold, and then Stephen donated $100 to me a couple weeks ago, and Dum Dum 3D Print Help donated $20, and I have some other money from last week on YouTube that hasn't came in. But yesterday when I checked my bank account, it was extremely low for the month, even though I just got paid on the 1st. So the cash on hand went in my checking account to cover my bills for the month. But I took my CR10 Max, which is $1,000 printer right now, and I'm listing it for $500. I put that online, but it's local pickup. So I've got a lot of things for sale. I just need to sell a couple, and then I'm going to get it, plus money that people donated, that if and when I buy something or do any kind of videos on it, which I will, I'll plug everybody in the credits that helped me out and go from there. But yeah, I don't have.
Are you getting a P1P now or no? You change your mind?
Yeah, I'm going to get the P1P instead of the whole kit and caboodle, and I'll go from there. When
Sam,
I get the money,
Sam, can't you call somebody and get them a refurb model? Because I know they've given some people some refurb models.
Yeah, I've heard this as well. And the problem with Bamboo Labs is what I'm finding at the moment is I had a really good meeting about 3 weeks ago with them, like really good. I was like, Jesus, this is amazing. And then they went, yeah, send us an email. So I followed up literally the same day, sent them an email, and I've heard nothing. And then tonight I've just got a message. So a lot of this stuff, and I reached out to other makers and people that are working with the same people and stuff. And I was like, hey, have you heard from these guys? And they're like, no, we haven't. We're waiting on extending. And I thought, Jesus, maybe they've got COVID. Maybe there's a problem. Maybe there's, so I'm reaching out saying, look, is everything okay? And I've emailed other people and then literally tonight I've just got a message through saying, hey, really sorry. I've been away. Loads of things going on at the moment. I think they're trying to do something with the support tickets. I think they're trying to do some changes with that to make that more streamlined, because if you have had an issue, and I know, Stephen, you have, and I've had 2 issues with mine. One with my AMS slot 1 is misreading. I've had to have it apart and, trying to work with the engineers and trying to fix that. But it is within a few days. It's not, immediate, but it is, I would say, within an acceptable level. Per se,
they've gotten really good for me. I mean, for me, I was surprised at the last issue I had was the weird noise that I thought was a pulley, and it turned out to be the belt rubbing on the chassis. But I mean, the thing that drives me nuts right now, what I'm seeing is all these people that were influencers that got the printers early, right? Is like now they seem to be the ones that are like attacking them. It's so bizarre to me, like that are just hyper critical of them. Mm-hmm. And like in my opinion, if you send me a beta unit, just like you did, Sam, I would test that, right? Thermal runaway is one of the things you test, right? So you're telling me of the hundreds of machines that everybody got, nobody thought to check thermal runaway? Like, the
reason why is they all said, "Oh, it's got LiDAR, it's got all of this," and they jumped on the features rather than looking at the machine as a whole.
Nero was talking about when you pull the sock off the hot end, there's a clip that's holding in the thermistor and the heater that usually pulls off with it, and if you don't realize that, that's going to throw your runaway right there.
But my point is you could argue the point that Nero's part of the problem, right? He was one of the early beta testers. Somebody should have tested it a long time ago. Now it has thermal runaway, but as Sam and I found out a couple weeks ago, it is not like Marlin. It is not like Clipper.
It's not like a traditional version, is it? You're completely right. And the funny thing is that and I've seen this a lot, and I've taken a real disliking to certain content creations around having a meltdown on Twitter because they weren't one of the first people to get their Bamboo Labs P1P, free of charge, and it's affecting their content. It's affecting their.
I know exactly what video you're referring to,
and that kind of thing really sucks. But I'm in a different camp here because this is not.
Sam, I sent you that email privately. That's not fair.
But if this was my main job, I would be eager and itching to get that thing first. Of course I would. And it's always nice when Creality sent me the Sonic Pad thing first. I was the first person to have that. That was awesome. I didn't realize that was the case, but a lot of these high-end content creators, they know they're going to be the first ones in line. And some of them, it's quite funny when you see this one's doing it in half an hour's time, and then someone else goes live real quick. And the reason because of that is because they want the ads, because they want their subscribers to be there first, and they want to be best in show, and that's fine. But it just grinds me up a little bit that when a company isn't able to provide, there's COVID, there's shipping issues, there's all sorts of crises all over the world, and they're just worried about them. And that in my eyes, that doesn't really help anybody at all. And there's I get sent printers that I don't even review. Bamboo Labs said, we don't want you to do a review on it. And I said, okay, that's fine, because they just wanted me to use it. They wanted feedback in certain areas, which again is fine. But that isn't I may do one, I may not. It all depends on, it's not in my highlight at the moment to do something like that. But, what I will say is I do think they're awesome printers, and, same as Stephen, and when Stephen said about it, I'm going to sell my Prusa's because there's still a good refresh rate on selling them. I sold both of them straight away. Within about a week or so, they were gone to new users, and I bought a P1P. So
my approach is going to be different. I know, Stephen, you do a lot of printing on yours. I know an awful lot of printing, right? I know you do. Mine is going to be. I'm going to put mine online, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week printing. I'm going to beat it up and see how long it lasts. That's going to be a real litmus test. And how
somebody we haven't talked too much that hasn't been on here in like 2 months. We need to talk to her. She's all up there by herself. Nobody's talking to her.
Jamie, surprise!
What have you been up to, Jamie? What's going on? What have you been working on? How was Avatar?
Just a lot of printing. I had a lot of Christmas crap that I had to do for people. You know, the whole, I want a Christmas tree and all this stuff. But so now I finally get to, I'm getting to print some stuff that I want to print. And she is, I just love that printer.
Ghost in the Machine.
That's gorgeous.
Yeah, Ghost in the Shell. Yep.
Well done.
She's got a nice rack.
She does.
What's the stand like?
Oh dear, there's your monetization out the window again, Jerry.
These are actually for a commission. A guy bought both models. I normally would not have. Here, let me save your monetization, Jerry. I would not.
my hairy boots are bigger than now.
I would not have printed this version.
Nice fingernails. Nice fingernails, Joey. Sharp and pointy. Yeah.
I'm still just loving this GK2. It is, yes, amazing. So
if a person wanted their first resin printer and they were picking between an Anycubic Photon Mono X or a GK2 and money was an issue, buy the Anycubic Mono X. It's a perfect printer. If you have the extra money, buy the GK2 8K. But the 4K, the 8K, there's not a lot of quality.
You're completely leaving out. Everybody goes for that. I couldn't tell you the last time I printed on that printer because everything is a fight. You've got to dial in every single resin that you want to use.
I use stock setting. All resin goes in it. Every single print comes out fine. For years now.
If you want a printer that is my number 2 printer, the GK2, you can put anything in it, and as long as your supports are going to hold on to the model, it'll print. Yeah. It will print everything, and it prints it beautifully. The next one down that I can put any resin in, and as long as it's supported good, the Creality Halide Light.
I made a problem on a GK2 a few weeks ago. I had heavy supports on a model, and I shouldn't have done that. It was a big mistake. I could not remove most of them, broke the model, had to go back and reslice it with light supports, but a lot of them, like 80%, and then it was fine. I could get them off real easy. GK2, I had heavy supports on a model, and I couldn't. Most of them were bonded to the model, and I broke the model trying to get them off.
What are you slicing with?
Cheetah Box Pro.
No.
And I've used their slicer.
It's based on Prusa Slicer, and you know I'm a big pusher for using Prusa Slicer for auto supports, because everything that I have printed, all of these huge stuff. This is just the top part of the base. There's a whole nother half that goes down below this, but I use 0.4. Yeah, 0.4 the head diameter, and auto supports at like 60%. There probably wasn't, I don't know, maybe 30, 40 supports on here, and they just fall off. You can't even see where a support was. And it's auto supports, and it just works, and it's just
their new slicer. I hate Prusa Slicer. I really despise Prusa Slicer because I hate the UI. But for my GK1, I use it because that's their slicer, what they recommend, and that's where all their profiles are built and so on. I use it when I'm using my GK1 and it prints great. That's the only thing I ever use Prusa Slicer for because I don't have a choice.
Yeah, I don't slice with it. Like if I'm going to use Chitu Box, I will usually, and this is on my other printers besides the GK1 or 2. I hollow and make my holes in Chitu Box. I go to Prusa Slicer and I auto support, and then I export plate as STL, including supports. Go back into Chitu Box and slice it and go.
Okay.
But the auto support function, Prusa Slicer has just got it. It's just got it down.
One thing bad about the Prusa,
and I've tried everything.
Their version of Prusa Slicer is when you go to hollow models, you can't select all the pieces. You got to select one at a time, I've found, and hollow each one of them. I can't select 4 out of 5 things on the bed and tag them and slice them all at once. I mean, hollow them all at once. I've got to hollow each one at a time. But yeah, it does work good, the slicer. But
for me, that's a good thing because some things I hollow at a different thickness.
Okay.
Because if it's something like, well, these are all easy, but like if it's something that's like a leg or whatever, and it's got like some little teeny ankles or something, and you try to hollow it at 0.23 or 2-3 millimeters, you can get a hole down here. But like, say you've got the torso on here with it, and you want to, and this hollows perfectly. I want to be able to hollow these different because I'll probably put this at 3. That way I don't have this pocket of resin inside,
Yep.
Hey, Jerry, I got to run. I don't mean to interrupt you, Jamie, but I'm going to say goodbye and let somebody else come in for a while.
Everybody? All right, Richard, what time are you on tomorrow?
I am on at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's 1 p.m. On the West Coast and 4 p.m. on the East Coast.
Awesome. I'll try to remember to drop in. I missed you last week. But
thanks, guys. I hope to see you all again soon.
Hi, Richard.
I miss you always. Bye. Hugs and kisses. Bye.
Hugs and kisses.
XOXO.
Here's Richard's channel again right here. I'll share it out. Michael Law's teaching tech was going to try to drop in today, but I haven't seen him yet, so he might have forgot.
Well, it's early his morning still, anyway.
Yeah.
No, it's 9:30. It's 9 o'clock, 9:30 for him. He's on the East Coast.
He's probably torturing those goats again.
Or maybe he's building a better vacuum cleaner.
Possibly. Let's hope so. Let's hope so.
working on his car. Could be working on his car.
Well, he's doing the car, isn't he?
When the X1 Carbon first came out, because I'm a small channel, like with most things, I contacted Bamboo, and they had said that one of my cameras has a big bug on it. They said that all the review units are out, maybe in the future if they come out with something else. Well, I replied to them a few different times, and I kept getting the same response back.
Me too.
And then as soon as the P1P got released, I contacted them, and then I got 0 response. The responses were over. If I had a person
something tells me, Jerry, this is going to change because there's a shift on if you're following Twitter, right? There's guys like Tom Sandlander saying, I'm never gonna do a bamboo printer. They're gonna need people like you, right? They're gonna need people. They're gonna need more people to get the word out, I think.
What I wish I had is if one of my friends knows somebody has a direct contact, they could PM me someone's name and I could contact them directly with what I have to say about who I am and stuff, and then I could deal with somebody directly with a yes or no. But if I got that privately sometime or in a PM, that would be really cool.
The only thing I see, Jerry, is there's a guy named Key and there's a Dr. Turbo, right? Those are the 2 people that I hear are mostly doing it. And the Key's on Twitter and YouTube. But I haven't talked to either of them. So.
Are you going to put the big fan on your P1P, Sam?
I've got it, actually. I've got it right here.
Yep.
Ta-da! But I've not put it on yet because I haven't felt that I needed to do that, really. I'm quite happy with the way it is, really. It's a bit industrial. I might print some sort of nice sort of sides or nice sort of bits for the front or whatever. But just on what you're saying there, Jerry, the problem is, and it's a really iffy one because there are those people, yes, there are, and then there's a load of other people, and the load of other people are people like there's a lady called Taylor, there's another one called I think Ruby. There's a bunch of different people, and they're just constantly looking out at creators and seeing what they're doing. So yes, initially in the first instance, I believe Tom was dealing with dishing out who perhaps they should use as a new company, and then that's evolved. So it's quite a chaotic kind of way of working. but you also then sign a contract as well. So I'm under contract, and it makes it very difficult for me to give out too much information, and it kind of sucks in some ways, but at the same time, it is problematic for me to give any of that kind of information out. And people have been asking, of course they've been asking, as I would be asking. So it is a little bit of an interesting one, but at the same time, they'll know of you by now. There's people out there, there's people looking. So if you've emailed in, don't make a pain in the arse out of yourself. That's what I would suggest.
No, I don't.
So, that's for anybody though. It's like I say, even with me, it's taken them 3 weeks to come back to me with, we were selling these things. Like people were coming up to me saying, "Hey, I've just ordered one. Hey, I've just ordered one." And I'm like, "This is amazing. Like, what else could we do to increase these sales?" And I had a bunch of ideas, and then they went, "Yeah, that's great. That's really great." And then I didn't hear anything. So I was like, "Oh, great. Thanks very much." So I spent all this time, and then they've come back to me today saying, "Yeah, okay, yeah, we are right. Okay." So, Christmas, New Year's, all that kind of stuff, holidays, COVID, all that crazy stuff.
Yeah, the Chinese New Year's coming up next month as well. That'll shut everything down.
Yeah, Year of the Rabbit's coming.
Andrew.
Yep.
Isn't it?
Okay, I got a question for a Prusa expert, bamboo expert. The Tesla that went over the cliff, it seems to me that the airbag saved their life, and the car didn't actually go over and just straight drop. It basically went over the edge, and it drove down the side of that mountain really fast. Wrecked, airbags went off. That's why they survived, and it was upright, the car, when it crashed. So there must have been enough of an angle on that embankment that when it went over the cliff, it didn't just free fall. That sound right?
I don't know.
Sounds like it was supposed to be deliberate as well. That's what we got.
Well, yeah,
Wait, what are you
talking here? Yeah.
But California, the man that tried to kill his family, that drove his car off the Tesla off the cliff.
Oh, is that what
I didn't know about that.
Yep.
Yeah, about 2 weeks ago, a doctor on some pass drove his Tesla off the cliff. It went 250 feet to the ground. It was completely destroyed, but everybody survived with minor injuries. 2 little kids under 10, the wife and the husband, which he's now, I guess, under arrest in the hospital. All the airbags were deployed. I know Tesla has cameras, so I'm assuming the cameras, filmed all this, which they haven't said whether they did or didn't.
Oh, yeah, I know. I filmed it for sure.
But the cliff wasn't straight down, so it ain't like it went straight out and went straight down like a rock. I think it drove itself basically down a really steep embankment, which was almost straight up and down. That's why when the car hit the bottom, it still looked like a Tesla with the fenders and the hood and everything all destroyed, but the airbags deployed. Everybody survived with minor injuries. 250 feet is a really long ways.
It is.
So
yes.
That's what I'm thinking. It just didn't go off and just straight off the cliff. No. It kind of went over the edge, and it kind of ran the terrain really steep down really fast. And because of that, when the airbags deployed, or the batteries, whatever it's under the car, all that in conjunction saved their life. That's kind of what I think. What chance?
Well, the cars are really safe, right? Those cars have airbags like nobody's business, and they're built like brick shit houses. In fact,
and obviously the battery didn't rupture, so that was the thing too.
Right.
So.
When the NTSB first, or the whatever does the crash testing, they could not get the roof to cave in on a Tesla. They flipped it over, and their normal test, they run it, turn it sideways, and then flip it. And they couldn't get the car to flip over. But when they finally did flip it over, they had to drop it from 20 feet to get any damage in the upper structure. The car, even though they're glass roofs, right? The whole roof is glass. There's it's like an exoskeleton inside that's like absolutely strong as hell.
Yeah, its roll cage is reinforced.
Hey, Thomas,
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah, they had to come in with choppers.
Pizza's here, so I'll be back in a little bit. I'm going to check out.
All right,
he's going to go get pizza. Is what he's doing.
He wants to get his pizza in first.
Trevor from Navarre 3D wanted to drop in, but he's having internet issues. He just PM'd me on Facebook.
But looks like Andrew's having issues too.
Yeah. And I think Matt was saying the UK is going to be having issues with power going out randomly, trying to save money or energy or whatever.
Some of they are. That's crazy.
Probably has to do with natural gas and oil coming from Russia being cut off, and they got to try to cut back somewhere.
And we don't have a shortage of electric. We have a shortage of natural gas, you know.
But most of the electricity is nuclear powered.
Yeah, no. But somehow the electric and gas is combined. So whatever, I guess the companies pay the same price for it, or have to sell it for the same price.
Aren't some of your power stations gas turbines as well, though? I think They're all nuclear gas turbines.
A lot of it though is done by nuclear power now in the UK.
Yeah. But it depends on stability-wise. Yeah.
How do you heat, Matt?
Gas.
Ooh. Is it getting expensive?
Yeah.
Yeah, my current power bill is $144 here in front of me, and in the summertime, that's up to around $400.
Is that for a
gas bill? Yeah, $144.
I'm thinking about to get a UPS.
Mine was $350.
My last one was $59 for 2 months.
Well, in the summertime, right? My power bill here would get to $600. So
yeah, mine gets up to like almost $400.
Mine was roughly $250, but I have.
And then in the wintertime, the gas bill, Southwest Gas, goes high because the power is down.
And I'm total electric gas.
I'm sold here, so my year, including supply charge, about $700 for the whole year, including supply charge.
I know it's here expensive. Like mine was ridiculously expensive during this. Starting in around August, September, it started ramping up, and it's just stayed up there. It hasn't really come down that much.
Hey, Tripod. Hello, how are you?
Hey, John.
Oh, no, not
Tripod. Oh, no, not Tripod.
Good old Tripod. Oh, I've just seen him in his garage. Or his garage.
Enable the pancake.
Garage.
Hey, what did you say? Don't call me that. Garage.
He will enable the pancake, he said.
The pancake.
The pancake.
Come on, Tripod. Come on. Get on. Take your licking.
Working. That guy doesn't stop working.
I know.
He's like that song.
I think we're having a little baby earthquake.
Right now?
Are you?
Yeah.
Let's see if anything's shaking.
I can see my monitor shaking.
Oh, we can see.
Oh, yeah, we can see it vibrate. Yeah.
We see everything shaking.
Well, I hope you haven't got any resin prints on.
It'd have been funnier if we said
I do have a
we don't see nothing
going.
She always has resin prints going.
It's not an earthquake.
She's going to get hit with 6.2.
It's Sam's bamboo shaking the world.
It might be.
I
was filming about 3 years ago, and we had one here in Vegas when I was filming. Is out of California, and I felt it, and I was taping. But when I edited the video, I cut it out, and I shouldn't have done it because it never happens here. I should have left it in the video. I looked at my pots and pans in the kitchen to hang from chains from the ceiling, and the whole thing is just sitting here doing this.
It's probably not really an earthquake. I live
tremor
as the crow flies, probably less than a mile from where they do active maneuvers at Fort Chaffee, and they do these things called ground rumblers.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody knows what that is.
Sonic boom.
I watched the film Tremors once.
But they don't. You
Is
can't
it a bit
hear
like
them. They just
was
rumble.
Kevin Bacon there? No.
So that may be what they're doing.
But they're used for to cause caves to collapse, aren't they?
Yeah.
I don't have any idea.
I think they are.
They do special ops training over here.
They fly super low to the ground, and they pull up at the last second, and they use jet wash, and they put on full afterburner, and then they pull out. And what it does is it creates a sonic boom
shockwave
that travels down, and because they're pulling up at such a steep angle, it fires it across the ground. And that is what they use it for. Is actually in like Kandahar and Desert Storm, that's what they used to do, and that was to destroy the tunnels underneath the sand. So.
Wow.
They do it over here through the mountains. It's called cooling out, and they do a wish wash. That means that they come in, they do a dive into the mountains, and you can actually get it up at Aviemore. So I've been up there and watched the Tornadoes and the Eurofighters do it, and they swipe side to side through the mountain, and it creates a sonic boom that travels all the way down the mountain. So you've got people who are like 50, 60 miles on the opposite side of the mountain who get a shockwave, and they can hear it. And that's how they do it, is just to make sure that it actually vibrates the mountains all the way along.
When they're bombing here, it shakes the whole house. It's loud.
Yeah, and when you do that, you can get seismic waves traveling through the ground as well that actually will make everything nearby within a couple of miles shake.
Nellis Air Force Base is a half mile from my house, and planes fly overhead daily. And at night, they're always taking off at night, really big planes. So everything rumbles at night. You can hear them. You learn to ignore it, and it doesn't bother you if you live up here. But yeah, all night long they're taking off.
We've got lots of planes. Fort Smith has the 188th. It's where like the major drone stuff happens stateside, and there's drones. You can hear them, but you can't see them. They fly them at night.
Yeah.
I don't know that I like it. I'm flying over my house at night. But,
What, the drones?
yeah.
Drones, well, they're still a pilot. He's just sitting on land instead of being in the air. So
I live in the country for a reason. I like my privacy. You know.
Jerry, do you still got a? Oh, I was just asking if you had a Patreon.
I had one a long time ago. I didn't have anything to offer anybody, and I wound up getting rid of it. I had one member on it for a month, and I got rid of the Patreon. If I don't have anything to offer anybody, I can't get donations.
Well, that's not true. I mean, I mean, guys like Joel Telling have them, and I don't think he's regular on Patreon, from what I can see. But
I don't know.
You could do a Discord. You could do a Discord chat for people that could be for printing or lasers. You got a lot of knowledge that.
Well, if it's just more time I don't really have in a day because I tinker with so many things, nothing gets done. So I'd just be another avenue I'd have to spend time on. I do have two things up on printables now. My head back, my little mini me back there, I put on printables. And then I put my logo, 3D HP, on printables a couple days ago.
Yeah, I just passed 62 patrons. It's the most I've ever had. Got blown up. I got featured on It's Boy in Space's channel on TikTok. He's like got 4 million followers. He did my headphone stand, and
is that because you begged him to follow you?
Yes, actually, that is a fact.
It was such a good video, though. It was such a good.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny about that? That was totally uncoordinated. I was trolling him because he blocked me a long time ago. So every day I take my dice and I go, "Is today the day It's Boy in Space going to follow me?" And I'd roll my dice and say, "Not today," or maybe, or whatever. Well, then one day I did the video, and I was laying in bed. I was laying in bed and I got a notification and I was like, "Holy shit!" I was like, "Oh, it's a fake account. Somebody made a fake account." Then I click it and I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure, it's you, buddy." And he's like, "Hey, no, really, it's me. It's Ben." And I'm like, "Oh my God, it happened. It actually happened."
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. I did a show with him. I did a show with him, I think, on Anycubic, and I didn't know who he was. I had no idea because I think he was still working with Joel at the time. And I was like, well, I better find out a little bit about him because I thought we were on together. And what they had is I think they had him on first and then me on second. But you know, it was advertised as like this dual thing. And so I reached out to him then and started talking to him. He's a good guy. He's a good so much printing he does. It's unreal.
Yeah. Well, and he, you know, my criticism of him was when I started in TikTok a year ago, he blocked me before I ever made my first video. So I didn't know who he was. And coming from Twitter and YouTube, everybody kept going, "It's Boy in Space." I'm like, who the hell is It's Boy in Space? I had no clue who he was. And I told him, I was like, yeah, 4 million followers, but I didn't know who you were. But anyways, yeah, so we've been kind of talking a lot lately. We actually have a lot in common, which is kind of crazy. But, you know, he did reach out and said, "Look, I don't want to have a beef with nobody." And I'm thinking, how is a guy with 4,000 followers, like, how do I bother you? If I had 4 million followers, nobody could bother me. Let me just tell you that. But
I barely have over 10,000 and people bother me.
Well, because he makes videos that are for kids, right? And so one of my big critics, I used to say he makes videos for kindergartners, and he told me in chat, he said, "Hey, I have to tell you, that really bothered me when you said that."
Oh my God!
Yeah, but it works though, right? You know, it's
dude, he's so successful. He's so successful. You know, you cannot knock him for it.
I never thought in a gazillion years that I had like probably, I don't know, I think maybe 4,000 followers just from my printing stuff and my painting stuff. All of these other followers were when I started live streaming raccoons.
Yeah.
No, Jamie, they like to see your pointed fingernails.
Well, no. Hold on, Jamie. Everybody's waiting for one of the raccoons to turn on you. I'm sorry.
Are you kidding me?
Let's do a giveaway,
They're
everybody.
so sweet.
No, every night my wife watches and I go, "Did she get attacked tonight?" Nope. I say, "Okay, well, I didn't miss anything."
You know,
if you
and then there
Jamie-
are those people who are duetting my videos. Now, if I upload a video, I've got it turned off where people can't duet anymore.
Why?
Because they're duetting my videos, like the raccoon stuff, and just being stupid. Like,
Yeah.
why are you feeding
Danger.
wild animals or
There was
whatever?
somebody last week. They came home, mother and daughter, and the daughter opened went to the front door and got attacked by a raccoon.
Hashtag New Year. Hashtag New Year in chat. If you
The
live in the
mother
USA,
basically drop kicked the raccoon across the yard. It wasn't happy.
Oh yeah, dude, I saw that. That was crazy.
They just attacked the daughter. Yeah.
If raccoons
But
have
that-
babies, they can be vicious because
No, she said it was because the raccoon was rabid. It was a rabid. You know, it had rabies.
Oh.
So
It just ran in and attacked the daughter. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, attacked the daughter, and then the mom came out and picked it up, and the thing started attacking the mom like crazy, and she freaking threw that thing like a fucking football across.
And it came back. You saw it came back as well. Jesus.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
off it. Yeah, it was pissed. Yeah.
yeah,
Awesome.
anybody
I
in
do
the
all of
world,
this stuff,
anybody in
but
the world can enter this giveaway, but it must go to somebody in the USA. It's one roll of Ziltech filament, PLA, PET G, or ABS. They ship out of Texas, USA only. But if you like winning stuff, anybody anywhere can enter. But I will need a mailing address for somebody in USA and what type of filament they would like. I'll contact my rep on Monday, or I'll send it to her before Monday, and then she'll get it shipped out right away. USA only. So let's do a drawing. And to enter, you just do hashtag New Year in chat. So we got 16 entries. Let's go ahead and draw it. Anybody else going to get in?
I'm in, right?
I accidentally bought 25 rolls of Orange Crush from Ziltech, and I would like to give those away to somebody.
25 rolls of orange.
I don't know why. Well, I don't know what happened.
You can start Thanksgiving pumpkins early. That's all.
Hey,
Start
Prince
pumpkins
Grace.
early.
Here we go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Come on, tree pod. Blasto. Oh.
Hey, Sergio.
Sergio,
He's eating his pizza. He's eating pizza. He's eating pizza.
You got to be present to win. Present to win.
Got to be present to win,
Yeah, you got to be
Sergio.
present to win. Or
Hope that pepperoni was worth it.
Let's give him a minute to respond. Sergio, are you in chat?
There, no. Come on, Sergio.
Put that pizza down.
And get up here and say,
He's got greasy fingers. He can't type.
Type with those greasy fingers.
Redraw. It's rigged.
Now let's give him 30 seconds to respond before I redraw.
He's enjoying his pizza far too much.
Start a 30-second timer.
30 seconds, starting now. By the way, if you want to change your timer, try asking me.
She arguing with you?
Hey, Alexa, set an alarm clock for 4 a.m. for Jerry.
Sergio, speak up. Timer's going down. I'll redraw if timer goes off.
He's enjoying his pizza.
Surgery is not available.
No. Come on, Sergio.
No connection under this number.
Timer just went off.
Yeah.
Well,
We're
pizza must be
redrawing.
good pizza. That's all right.
Here we go.
Pizza.
Redrawing right now.
Hey, Blasto, you can 3D print the pizza.
Alexa, stop. Tripod.
Oh, he doesn't deserve anything.
Told you.
Definitely rigged.
Told you.
Tripod. You know the drill.
You there, John?
Pick it out. Let me know your mailing address.
He
and
said
I'll
no.
get it sent out.
He said
Here's the
no.
link right here. No.
Why'd you enter?
Let's see what he says again. You know
When
what?
I win the roll of
If everybody
filament, I
just
send it
doesn't
to
show up or says
tripod.
no, eventually it'll get back around to me.
Let's wait and see what he says.
Yeah, slow clap for tripod.
You want to redraw, John, or you want the?
Yeah, he has the link to drop in also. Let's see what he says.
You motherfucker.
Yippee ki-yay! I got him printed right here.
So, who is going to Mirth here?
I will be at it.
Can't afford it. Don't even have a passport, or I would.
I'll be at Mirth.
Where is it at?
Indiana.
Goshen, Indiana.
Yeah.
Oh, Indiana.
Are you saying Murph or are you saying?
You want the film?
I'm saying
right?
mirth.
Yeah.
Here he is. Here comes Tripod now. Hey, Tripod.
Boo.
Hey, John.
I can't donate it to someone.
Oh yeah, you can donate it to whoever you want.
Donate it.
Yeah.
All right. Whoever responds first in chat, say Ziltech, and they can get it.
Wow.
Oh,
there you go.
Mate, Jamie got there first. Jamie got there first.
Yep. There you go.
Jamie.
Because I'm having a time on my phone.
That was quick. That was quick, Jamie. That was real quick.
That was very, very.
I'm one of those quick texters.
That was zoom. Dang. And that was fast.
Jamie, thank Tripod and go to ziltech.com. Pick out a filament, give me your mailing address, and I'll get it sent out to you Monday.
I got all that filament right there.
Thank you very much.
You don't need any more.
So Sam, why are you asking about Murph?
Oh, I was just wondering who was going. That was all.
Oh.
No, to Murph?
Yes.
Yeah.
I guess I may go.
I'll be there Saturday only. I'll drive down Saturday morning.
I gotta get that thing.
It's like way out to be talking about that, right? I mean, that's in May, right?
Well, with the way that myself and Sam plan, it's good to talk about it now. So
yeah,
God, I always wait till the last minute.
May?
You got to get all the barbecue restaurants worked out first, right?
Well, the truth there is that
and Tim's got to set fire to a bunch of stuff and just go completely crazy.
What
about
the
lists?
The one in Colorado is in what, April?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't go to that one, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't have enough PTO to go to that one.
I'll say you some of mine. I got plenty of PTO. You can get some of mine.
How many years do you have now, Kieran?
I've got about a year of leave sitting there. Yeah.
So Kieran could officially take vacation now, and when his vacation's over, retire.
I keep waiting for them. I want them to lay me off. Then I'll have 3 years. I'll have 3 years of sitting there.
Yeah, so
they don't want to lay me
I'll
off.
be down for the Saturday only.
They can't afford to lay me off.
I'll probably get there around 8 in the morning.
It looks like Karen's got his hair going out too.
Village.
Karen, did you just wake up? Got some bedhead
No. I just need a haircut. My hair's. I'm desperate for a haircut.
I thought you called him Karen, then.
No. Well,
Karen, did you just wake up?
He goes by that name on weekends only.
Did you just roll over and spoon with Sam?
Hey.
No, I've been up for hours. I just best up my hair. My hair's a mess. I mean, I should have got a haircut 4 months ago. With everything else that's been going on, I haven't had a chance to get a haircut.
Man, there's some battles going on, man. With these, I'm not trying to get involved with the bamboo and all that other stuff.
Oh yeah, on Twitter.
I'm like, dude, oh my goodness, come on, man.
I'm not reviewing them no more because
they didn't send me one first.
Coming from the people that are doing Voron or builds and Prusa builds, which arguably are the two most passionate communities in our community, right? The Voron people are vicious, brutal, oftentimes, and so is Clipper people. I don't think bamboo people hold a candle to them, to be honest with you. I've never been so insulted as when I went on the Boron group to get help. I went in, asked a question, got fucking attacked, and I left.
I joined their
the way that this is all making me feel at the moment makes me want to go and review a G-Tech printer. So that's coming out in a couple of weeks, guys. Don't worry. That thunder's coming home, baby.
Exactly.
There you go. How many do you want?
Matt's got a few. Matt's got a few he can give you.
Okay, so hang on. So I have just seen. I think you guys are talking about a certain tweet. Are you not?
Tom Sandlander.
Yeah, I've only just seen it.
Yeah, I just saw it too.
What were the recent developments? He's crying, whiny little bitch.
No. He's saying that he doesn't want to do it because of how the community has responded to Nero's claiming that it doesn't have thermal runaway when it does have thermal runaway, and the people defending Bamboo Labs is just too toxic for him. He said.
So why didn't he test it when he got his?
he was mad anyways, right? Because he didn't get one until he was like the last person in the world, influencer wise, to get one. Which I understand.
The P1P he got last. Yeah, I think that it was the P1P he got last.
But he never got it. He didn't. He opted out of the X1 carbon.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got another bamboo guy popping in. We've got Zach. Hey, Zach, how you doing?
Oh, I thought you were going to say Thomas Sandlander then. I was like, damn, what a shame.
That would have been funny.
I've got to go, gentlemen and Jamie. So I'll leave you in peace and quiet. And
nice talking to you, brother.
You well. Take care.
You have a great day.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Yeah, I mean, it's no one tested the thermal runaway. They got it. So to see how long and see if it was going to heat up. I mean, I get his concern. But if I was Nero, I would have just said, hey, I noticed that this isn't alerting me within 30 seconds what's going on.
That's really strange, John, because 3 weeks ago, I reached out to Steve and I said, hey, dude, thermal runaway on the bamboo. And I thought I was just being mental because I would have thought that would have been picked up.
In a row.
I did test it. I did test it, but the way I tested it is I turned it on. I just warmed it up. I wasn't using any preloading macros. I just turned the temperature on to 250. I opened the cover and I pulled the thermistor plug out. I didn't pull it out of the hot end. I disconnected it all together. And it did take, I remember at first thinking, oh shit, it's not working. And then, but by the time I stood up from my seat, it had stopped, right? It said there was an abnormality and it put the QR code up. So to me, I was like, well, that's good enough for me. It's working then, right? So
it's great for popcorn. If you're looking to get your popcorn sorted out, that X1 Carbon is the ultimate popcorn machine.
Yeah, exactly. But I never saw it smoking or nothing like that.
Well, and what's amazing is it comes in the bag too when you get your popcorn.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, it was. I'm like, there's a lot of questions that could have been handled a little bit differently. Instead of the problem was it was an attack right away instead of when you're doing all this.
He stuck an ANET AA sticker on it, John.
Yeah.
He put in the stream I saw they put an ANET AA sticker on it and went basically implying, hey, this new grade machine is just as good as it's just like an ANET. It doesn't have. And to me, I thought if I was Bamboo Lab, I would take that as disrespect, right? Especially if I sent you machines for free. It's like, couldn't you just reached out to your contact and said, hey, I got a concern.
That's how it should have been.
Hey, just so you know, this popped up on the live stream, right? So it's out there, and I need to get an answer.
Steven.
Yeah.
So he couldn't hide it.
Normally, when people
so of all the people,
they are going into it looking for issues to cause drama.
No, I know, but he could have. It happened on the live stream, but he could have said, "Hey, look, I'm going to reach out to my guy, and I'm going to get some clarity on this, and just follow me on Twitter and all."
The guy that he's talking with might have been on holiday for 3 weeks. So hey, Jen. And we just wouldn't have known. We just wouldn't have known because there have been times where, hey, what's the difference between X, Y, and Z? And I'm like waiting about a week or so. I'm like, there's guys that want to buy this stuff, and they were asking me the questions. I want to be able to give them the information. That's what this is all about, right? Surely, because there's an ROI on all of this stuff, regardless if they're saying there's not. There is. If you're sending someone a printer for free, they're going to want something in return out of it. That's going to be content. That's going to be word of advice. That's going to be whatever it might be, good, bad, ugly, smelly, whatever. And ultimately that's what the key deliverables are all on. So whatever. He did another video today, did he?
Yeah, I didn't watch it. He did an update.
Oh, Miro. Yeah, of course he did. Yeah.
I seen Tom Sandlander a couple of years ago on a live stream when he was taking apart his CNC, and I've always watched his videos but never live streamed. And he was stomping his feet up and down. I thought he was going to start crying. It's like somebody took away his tricycle. I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, he wasn't scripted being an angel or whatever you want to say. He was live and everything went wrong and he was acting like a little 2-year-old and it was ridiculous. But,
it's just a matter of how it was all handled. It was just, you're supposed to just ask first. Don't assume. Okay, just say, hey, I noticed, is this a problem? I mean, it's, I have the bamboo. I mean, a third of us here have the bamboo or more. And I never tested it, and I'm a customer of it. I bought it. So I just ran it, and I figured it had it. I mean, this was a huge issue 3 years ago. And almost every company has resolved it since. So it didn't come to me to think to even test it when I bought my carbon. I don't know how many other people have. I mean, Sam, you tested it. Lightspeed, you did. Zach, did you?
I did because Sam asked me to test it.
Okay, we should answer the question. There was a genuine question.
I can't hear you, Zach.
Go ahead, Astro Printer. You're the question guy.
It's basically when the machine heats up uncontrollably and it doesn't get shut, it gets shut down. So if you set the temperature to 200 degrees and the temperature reaches 200 degrees but keeps getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and the machine doesn't recognize that this is an issue and kills the power to the thermistor, that's called thermal runaway. And it can get so hot that the hot end can, in some printers, it can get so hot, especially the older ones, that the hot end would actually melt.
It could cause a fire, yeah.
It would get that hot. So,
the Bamboo heater is a PTC heater with a maximum like room temperature, no cooling of like 4 to 450 C, which is like
400.
That's enough to ignite.
PLA can read.
They're saying 300. Zach. They're saying it has a max temperature of worst case is 400, but they said in testing it was upwards of 300 degrees. That's what I heard.
I mean, the way a PTC works is the hotter it gets, the higher the resistance of the heating element.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, with a sensitive enough board, you could actually control the temperature of your hot end without a thermistor. Just by reading the resistance values off of a PTC.
That's right.
But here's a problem with the vaping world. Zach, their implementation is flawed, and it's as firmware fix it should be anyway, right?
Well, so here's my thing. The issue. Well, first, let me answer Tripod. I never tested it because early on, one of the first things I ordered was some different size nozzles. So I threw a different nozzle in to see what it was like, and left the thermistor unplugged on accident and tried to heat it. It wouldn't heat. So, in my mind, I expected it to have it. And, my whole point of view on this thing is, look, they have thermal runaway protection. It's not the best implementation, but at least it's there. And at least this company is one that will listen to the community, take their feedback, and get fixes. And historically, those fixes have come astoundingly fast.
That's what we're hoping
to any company out there. Honestly, compared to especially a new company,
no one.
It's blisteringly quick. Even when there was that, the Christmas release where they got that little building and stuff, and there was a dog or something.
Yeah.
And somebody put, that dog's copywritten to such and such. That's not got the content created. Blah blah. They reached out, they resolved it, and that was done literally within a few hours.
And they gave compensation on top of it. Yep. They gave the person royalties. Yeah,
I've never known any other companies to do it as quick as they did it, and it's not just one off. They've done this time and time and time again. As soon as it's been highlighted, all of a sudden they've come back with a resolution for it.
I'm agreeing with you. They should have been responsive. I'm agreeing with Zach about them actually fixing stuff fast. Then it's just as it stands today, and hopefully they'll have a fix in the firmware pretty soon. It is too high a temperature to be killing and 3 minutes is way too long. It should be within 30 seconds, and it should be based on the temperature you set for your print, not based on an absolute temperature, which is what they're using today.
And I think they've written a blog on it.
They'll fix
They've
it.
written a blog on it
today.
today.
Now we're going to be talking about something else. It'll be old news.
Say that again, Sam.
They've written a blog on it. The blog came out.
The blog is explaining it, but it's not saying we're going to fix it.
No, at the end of the blog, they said that they're going to work on shortening the delay before it kicks in. And in the past, when there's been a massive
and work to shorten the delay before protection kicks in, is what it says.
I missed that. Sorry.
Yeah, don't classify as a TLDR. It was when I saw that post, I was like, no, direct people to read the whole thing. Don't say, oh, here's a synopsis of it.
Yeah.
No, just tell some people.
The way Nero reacted to the blog post.
Yeah.
He's all like, 3 minutes is still too long. 3 minutes is still too long. Basically presuming that Bamboo is standing behind 3 minutes is fine. He left out the in my opinion, the most important part is they are very, very fast to fix issues that the community pushes hard about. See the recent cybersecurity thing that was fixed within 72 hours or less.
Yeah, and they
72, I think it was 24 hours. They had a patch out.
They did it really quick. Versus, honestly, I'm probably one of the youngest in this community on 3D printers. Been in for just over 3 years, and I've never seen a manufacturer respond this quick.
No, I agree with you.
Not.
I agree. And that's what I'm saying. It should be a fast firmware fix.
And all the people that are complaining are the people that received the machine for content.
And I'm in. Joe, there's no technical basis. There's no set. This is the amount of time where it's safe. This is the amount of time where it's not safe. Because every situation is going to be vastly different. Yeah. In a situation where the heater comes uncoupled from the nozzle, at any amount of time safe, because that heater will not get hot enough to ignite anything.
Yeah, I want to take a walk back on my comment a little bit. Not complaining I think is the way that it's addressed was not inappropriate, but it could have been done better and more adult-like than what was. When I inquire, I have a legitimate complaint against an insurance company. So because I've been reposting every day, and because that is just wrong what they did to my daughter. This is, hey, we noticed something, and now you're saying it's 3 minutes. Are you planning on changing it? That should have been the response back after the blog post, right? Say, okay, hey, we've gotten used to a standard of 30 seconds. Are you thinking about changing it? To me, that would have been an appropriate response.
And even
but that doesn't get the clicks. That doesn't get clicks.
They would.
Yeah.
But the thing is, right? And I'm guilty of this a little bit because some of the stuff I do and put in my videos is that I want people to engage and I want people to ask the questions. So if I do something wrong, I do it on purpose because a lot of the time I do it on purpose, or some of the time I do it on purpose. Maybe I don't do it on purpose. Maybe it's just a whole ruse. But the idea is that whenever you put something out, and Jim, even with his SV06 printer the other week, he's got to get, it's going back or it's going away. That was major clickbait, and I know he got a lot of crap for that, but he didn't really seem to care. But all these content creators out there are just trying to push because they want to get the views, they want to get the haters, they want to get the people that are passionate, they want to get the, oh my god, I didn't realize that. Should I not buy this printer now? They want to get those kind of clicks. And also get out into the community and be the first. And I'm not saying Nero's incorrect or anything like that. And actually, I really like Taylor. I think he's a brilliant content creator. Certainly for the stuff he does on the Voron, it literally blows my mind. And I do reference his content quite often. So, but yeah, that's just the way it is. If you find something that's wrong, you want to get it out into the community. Potentially, on the flip side of this, if that say, for example, there could have been a danger where machines could have. He could have had a fire. He could have saved somebody's life potentially by putting that video out. So, I think there's pros and cons to it, but the way that it's done sometimes perhaps isn't necessarily correct.
Yeah, you're right, Jesse, about it. Yeah, when you power them up, it actually the first thing it does is update itself.
Well, look at me with the CR6 SE. To me, it was
a drama on itself, John.
Oh, but honestly, that was my last real good rant. So. And that's I think the last time I put myself really on camera.
That was the thing. And even if you look at the Sonic Pad, when I went online with those guys, I went, well, you haven't done anything about this 5-volt thing. And they were like, oh, it shouldn't really be a problem. And then people started having problems. So once again, it's a thing that people just don't learn from the mistakes.
Well,
they're in business.
Hey, Sergio, you missed it. While you're eating pizza, you want to roll a filament, but you weren't here. So Tripod won it and donated it to Jamie.
But, so the thing that with the CR6 SE is that Creality knew there was an issue and flat out said, we're not going to address it. That was the problem. And it was a machine that I purchased. Either way, I would have said the same thing. Don't buy it, Yeah. But it was,
that sucks.
Yeah. It's just, it blows my mind how quick people are to jump on a side on this thing. Before we had the blog post, before they said, hey, there actually is, there was a bunch of people in the Facebook group who were basically just saying, one of two camps. Either I can't believe this company that has all this advanced stuff in their printer can't put in this feature that's standard everywhere else on one side. And on the other side is it's a heater. If it's not connected to a sensor, it's going to overheat. That's normal.
Thank you, Jamie.
And it's like there's people on both sides with this thing.
Yeah, I was. I didn't know how. I waited. I didn't even power on the machine until I saw the response. Okay, I'm like, okay. there's some type of thermal runaway, and it's not within the time frame that everyone's used to. I think they're going to probably decrease the time with the next update. So,
and the other thing too, it may one contributing factor maybe they just weren't aware of what we are used to in
they're a new
DIY
company.
Community.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's entirely possible that they just determined from their own internal testing that their system would work, because they said they tested it. And when all of this came out, the blog post says that they went immediately and tested it again on the latest firmware to make sure it worked as they expected, and it did.
Yep.
So
I was sent a link to their Discord yesterday, and I joined, and the page I got on was blank with all the rules and regulations, and I didn't realize, I finally did later on, that once you read most of that, you got to get about halfway down. There's a checkbox that's already checked. You got to recheck it, and then it opens up the world to you. And for some reason, Liam can't log on. He's having a problem with his phone number in Discord, and I won't.
Yeah, we banned him from the group. Actually, is what happened.
I was going to say, yeah. I mean,
but no,
you have to put your hand up if you want to talk to him.
Oh, you got a scanner, is it?
What scanner is that, Zach?
N-Star.
N-Star.
Well, hopefully it's better than
and he's an antenna on it. It's like an old brick one from the 80s.
Oh, I was just
reached out.
Someone reached out to me about a scanner, and it's LiDAR based, not laser.
So Sam, you got the Rivo point. I see that you got as far as I did with it.
This is even different. This will do really large.
Didn't even review it, man. I can't remember what they sent me. Yeah, there's some Revo something.
I have the two.
It wasn't very good.
No, the first one was
let me ask After Printer a question, because he's having trouble getting on Discord. Something to do with his phone number. Ask everybody here. Maybe somebody has
change your phone number.
They don't allow 1-900 phone numbers. The 1-900 phone numbers don't.
I know they don't work. I know. I tried your number. I know.
I know. Well, it's just a redirect to yours.
We tried your OnlyFans number. It didn't work, John. But the
yes, it did.
There's a bug in Discord. I believe it's a bug. You know the way the groups.
The problem is, Astro, you can't take no for an answer. If they don't watch you, I mean, how many phone numbers have you tried? Like 20?
I know. You finally accepted no. I know you have it. Okay, but when you sign on to Discord and the group requires you to authenticate with your phone number, right?
So they're doing an MFA,
right? Yes.
So they just want to make sure it's a real person.
It's similar to Twitter's old Verify program. They want to make sure that you're a real person. And they check that you have a phone number.
I understand.
That's something that your Discord account will carry with it.
I understand that. So when I do it, it turns around and says your number is assigned to another account, and it's not. I've tried and I've reached out to the support. They told me how to resolve this. Their resolution process does not work. I went back to them multiple times on this, and they've eventually stopped responding. So there isn't apparently an easy response for puppy. There isn't other than puppy. There isn't an easy response to it. So for anyone that requires phone number verification, I can't get into those groups.
That sucks.
When I was sent a link to Bamboo, I just clicked on it. They didn't ask for anything other than I had to read until.
Because you probably already verified your number elsewhere and it's already registered with them. But
other groups, I guess. I don't use Discord that much. I'm a member of a lot of groups.
There's so many Discords out there. I already get enough notifications. I don't know how people could be on everything.
I'm only on I pick and choose the ones I'm on.
I hate Discord. I can't navigate it. I struggle with it.
No.
You know, it's not the easiest thing to navigate. It is not. Like when someone does a mention for you and so on, it doesn't bring you, when you click on it, it doesn't bring you to the mentions. It just brings you to the thread. You have to find it in the thread. It's
right.
It's in need of improvement, let's say.
All right, Sam. What's in store for the next racers?
Oh, so we got another body design coming. And there might be a secondary weapon.
Flamethrowers?
I can't tell you yet, but I've got a meeting about it this week, so we shall see.
I have to say that You know, like I said, I like Nero too because he also sent us an epic picture. My God, that picture was amazing. What he did, he's like, no exclusion of weapons, right? He put his let's say a pew pew on top. So.
Yeah. No, there's been quite a few adaptations to it, and I think it's going to start hotting up again. I've still got the Earth video to put out. I've still got I'm just sat on that, just doing a few edits on it still. Yeah, you know, there's a ton of makers out there that are still evolving, still making different things. So that's been super encouraging. What I haven't managed to sort out yet is sponsorship and bits and pieces like that. So, and there were, as you remember, there were some very, very strong contenders that if one particular one didn't want to do it, then they would literally put it all apart, which is going to be very, very interesting if that happens. So again, we'll just have to wait and see. Watch this space.
Yeah. BB guns. Mount a BB on it.
We could get get Lightspeed's we can get Lightspeed's buddy to do it. Boy in space.
You see, that would be like a BB gun would be fun until somebody put like a CO2 powered BB gun on there.
Yeah, it's all going to be 3D printed. Right? That's the name of the game. It's all going to be 3D printed. But
those new gel shooting guns, shoot the gel beads.
Yeah,
gel beads.
Those were
paintball.
That would be awesome. Paintball.
Well, no, these everyone's modifying like Nerf guns and stuff, and all these other to shoot these gel beads.
Right, got it.
3D printed junk on top of squirts milk. How's that?
3D printed junk? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Put a junk on top?
Get your junk out.
About the scanner, I've scanned one item so far. I've seen a bunch of reviews, a bunch of videos of people using it on actual products. And,
so that's a LiDAR? It's a LiDAR, not infrared?
Structured infrared light.
Okay.
So we have a lady on the screen.
Cameras and infrared verbiage.
What'd you say there, Jerry?
We have a lady on the stream, so I'm trying to be careful my verbiage, what words I use.
I really don't think.
Don't be careful because of me. I'm probably got the biggest potty mouth of all of y'all.
She's first like
and I did see a pair of boobs earlier. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the same thing.
Hey, you got between the Sam and I, you got your chocolate, so we that's good for at least a year. So
yes.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Here,
I had no idea I was actually sending it to you. I saw it sitting on the laser area where Sam was sitting. You left it there, and then a couple weeks later, I'm like, "Oh crap! They gotta send these out."
So yeah, it uses structured infrared, and it has a color camera on it too, so you can do texture scanning and.
Now, does it do capture. I've been ripping I ripped scan dimensions and Rivel Point because it doesn't do any type of through hole, and it smooths the surfaces, and it cannot do a jagged surface without smoothing.
So,
ladies and gentlemen, we've got Sergio coming back. How was the pizza?
Oh, wait a minute. Hold it.
He's got burp.
Oh no.
Or
he needs more pizza.
There you go. No. I had the other screen on. I didn't want to echo. Pizza was great. Wings too.
Well, while you were gone, you want to roll a filament. You weren't here, so we rolled.
That's amazing. You know, I was just trying to order filament from Bamboo Lab. You know, they are totally out. Nothing.
They've been out since Black Friday, I think.
Wow, that's amazing.
Okay,
just
so
buy a Polymaker. You'll be fine.
This is the scan?
Yeah, wow. I'll tell you what I scanned it from.
That's the scan, Zach?
Yes.
Can you zoom in on like the corners, like the nose cavity?
Hold on, Jerry, make me big for a second.
Oh yeah.
Where you at?
So this is a reprint of that, or is that the scan of it?
No, this is store bought.
Okay. And so what you have on the build plate there is the scan.
Is the scan, right? Correct.
Oh,
so for the scan, I had texture scanning off. Had I had it on, I imagine I'd have a lot better detailed than what I achieved with it.
Well, and your problem is also importing it with all those facets too, right? That's impressive.
Joe, yes, any 1.75 filament will fit it.
This was 4 scans, no turntable, all freehand, and all I had to do was just turn it, and it would pick up a new place.
All right, on your build plate, turn it to the cheeks.
The deep holes.
So
just real quick, chaps. I'm going to jump. So nice to see you all, and I'll catch you next time. All right, bye for now. See you later,
Tom. Have a great night.
All right. So
what's the scanner's name?
It's an Einstar.
Where to go?
Einstar?
Yeah,
I lost it.
Okay, so where you see in the cheeks for the rivel point and the scan dimensions, it could not pick up that type of detail where it could actually go into the cavities of things. So if you scroll, underneath, it couldn't do that. That is amazing. But how much is it?
$959. You could have got it for $7.99 on Black Friday.
Okay, so the scan dimension is the same price, and you cannot do it freehand. It uses lasers, and it has to be in a tent and completely black.
This was just out freehand in my room with the.
That's amazing. That's probably the best. That is so far the best I've seen for a laser scanner under $1,000 or under.
This company, all of their products except they have a small tabletop rotating model that's $899. Everything they have is like $3,000 a plus.
Yeah, the scan laser is
high too. And
who let the dogs out?
Can you hear my printer in the background?
No, we just hear dogs.
Good. Okay.
So there's a YouTube channel called Making for Motorsport. That guy scanned a spindle upright off of a Mini and got good enough to reproduce quality. And he scanned the entire front quarter and hood of a Mini Cooper. And you can make out all the details, including the text raised off of the tire.
And that's for a non-LiDAR.
That's in a lit garage with no scan spray or anything.
I mean, it was like all these people that bought the scan lizard thing from Creality. I'm like, oh my god! It was when they were even showing it. I'm like, nope.
Well, this one and that I've been talking with a company about can actually scan objects up to 50 feet away.
Hello, Mrs. Zach Ass.
Hello, Mrs. Zach Ass.
Yes.
Like what?
This was cleaner.
You didn't take any trash out, and you didn't hang a new curtain rod.
Oh, I got the same thing. The wife just said that to me before I got on the stream. It's like, if you were lived by yourself, you would
give him
crap.
Come on.
Who took the trash out?
And the wife just laughed because I said that. She heard me in the other room.
Yes.
I said, yeah, well, if I'd been taken out the night before, it would have been one garbage bag.
I'm so glad you ran the robot vacuum for an hour. I'm so thankful, but you couldn't have done the
see? Now she's behind me. Look at
Mom, not in front of my friends, Mom.
Oh my gosh, the wives are coming out.
One bag, because I forgot and fell asleep after working 15 hours.
Oh yeah, she's blaming
out in
me.
the cold.
See,
not in a nice warm garage.
Oh, this is warm?
Yeah, warmer than standing outside and freezing my ass off.
Go, good puppy.
I'm getting Karen'd right now.
My wife's at work.
Somebody's sleeping on the sofa tonight.
You are a brave man.
Guess who's sleeping in the garage tonight? These two.
With the dog.
We don't have.
When my wife's mad, I just don't understand her. So.
When he's sleeping in the car.
she could be asking me if I want more enchiladas or screaming at me. I don't really know.
What are you looking for?
I just go.
You looking to see she's behind you?
Hey, Zach,
why do you think I sit with my back to the wall, not and my face to the door?
I'm impressed with that scanner though.
Yeah, man, it's
change the subject.
Zach, that was that one you showed me the other night?
Yes.
Scanner? Oh, okay.
He won't let me scan.
Because I tried scanning this. I even put the special scanner stuff on it. It's basically like chalk.
Yeah.
You can see it flaking off. And it couldn't pick up any of those cavities in there. So
Well, thank you for the follow.
Wow.
Well, you know, my whole
Benzene
thing is
pineapple.
I'm good enough
Thank
with
you.
CAD. If I can get a decent enough scan of something, anything that's missing, I can fill in.
well, the
But you have
problem
to
is
do it. You have to do it like in Blender or something, right, Zach? Or no?
No, you can use the mesh as
Big doggy.
reference geometry in a bunch
yeah,
of
because
software.
when I tried it, I had way too many facets. And when I went and tried to import it into Fusion.
It's hard in Fusion, yeah.
You're in chat. Type away. We read all the comments.
But I've got an especially stout laptop and desktop, so
yeah,
I can handle big mesh.
You can't handle.
I have a MacBook.
Yeah, well, this other one,
sorry.
if it happens, it's made
Hey.
by a Japanese company,
I'm having fun.
and it
Knock it off.
uses LiDAR.
You want to come hang the curtain?
What?
Is Zach still getting his
Harassed.
He was supposed. He took a week off work the week of Christmas when I went to visit my sister in Oregon. He had a whole week to sit on his butt.
Wait a minute.
And we've had this curtain rod for a month, and I still can't get the guy to hang it up.
Okay, wait. Doesn't that mean that you also had a week off?
Oh yeah, exactly.
He had
What
a
were you
vacation.
doing? What were you doing?
I don't want to be too great, too much of a
The crap.
because I got someone spying behind me that's gonna back
I
you
like
up.
her.
I just do my
Okay,
own stuff.
so
You're a brave man. Look.
I
You're a
approve
brave
of this.
man.
Yeah, last week.
She's the
No.
bomb.
Besides last week.
Yeah, see, but you did ask me when's the last time you had a full week off, and that was last week.
The last time before that, I had
Hello,
a
John
full
Strand.
week
Hello, how are you?
off Plus weekend.
John, you should listen to her.
Last Christmas.
When's the last
I'm just
time that I
saying.
had? How many times did I work 7 days a week for how many decades?
How many days have I worked?
Okay.
How many times have I worked?
So finally, I'm not working 7 days a week anymore.
See that comment? Single and loving it.
Well, now you gotta do chores.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, that's what happens. She's like you worked 7 days a week to avoid doing stuff around the house.
Yeah, why not? God bless you.
I kept all 12 animals and myself alive for the entire.
All 12 animals.
Well, you should have died because the life insurance would have been nice.
But anyways, Zach, I'm sorry, both of you were on vacation, so.
The life insurance would have paid for my car and the rest of the house more. The rest.
Oh, she's getting. Hey, we got this recorded, so if Zach is missing, we know what's happened.
Zach, make the statement. I did not kill myself.
I'm totally gonna die first.
Yeah, I didn't hang myself.
Yeah, we want to cut or I'll release the video.
If you're going to do that, get it on video so you get hits.
What's going on, Josh?
If you die first, I'm gonna auction off all your 3D printers to these guys, though.
So who's all going to Murph since that was brought up? I am. Jerry, you're gonna try to make it this year, right? Tomorrow.
I don't know. We'll have to see what happens financially.
Jerry just saw a way to get a bamboo out. You just got to make Zach disappear.
We've made 2 trips to Murph. We may sit this one out.
I don't know. There's a lot of Amish land. I could make you disappear out there.
Do they do it in the South? Do they do it in like Dallas?
Cool.
No.
No.
Kansas City?
You know what though, Zach? The tacos were good. So that is truth. That they had good tacos this year.
Yeah.
Well,
that might be worth going back for.
Yeah, Murph food was better than Earth food. Earth food.
Yeah, I was surprised that little taco truck. Yeah, I mean, I ate there every single day for a week, but yeah, it was really good. Actually, I was surprised.
I don't know if I want to go to Indiana.
Hey Zach, there was an offer. $80 for all the printers.
No, I know what they're worth.
I give you $1 for all the printers.
But I know what they're worth.
Good.
I mean, I could grab a roll of filament I have that's worth that much.
Here we go, guys. I'm going to chill everybody out for a minute. Let's show Navarre 3D's video from his store in Navarre, Florida. Trevor couldn't make it in today. He's having internet problems. But you can talk over the video if you like, but I'm going to run it.
Hello, everyone. I'm Trevor,
Hello.
and this is my store. This is Navarre 3D printing. We're actually located in the mall in Mary Esther, Florida. In our display window, we have a bunch of Jeff Hex 3D stuff. It's kind of hard to see with this shine in the mirror. Sorry. We do a bunch of custom stuff for people. Over here, we have some demo printers in the window.
You see the plan here?
No.
How about hello?
There is no plan. There's just chaos.
You can see we usually leave them on actively printing. That way people can, you know, kind of get an idea of this. Anyway, let's go inside the store. We're having a big promotion on filament. This is the Navarre series by Layerworks. Jonathan has made some amazing filaments, and they're all USA made.
A nice filament, by the way, guys, if you haven't tried it.
Alright. Let's see, we've got some great models up here. Okay, we've got filament. Again, more patrons. We've got Flexi Factory and about 10 others. We have Xyltech filament on the right there. Tons and tons of eSun. Printers galore. We got Folson, of course, Creality, Chitty Tech. Again, this is our line of filament here. Well, this is Layerworks. This is our series. And man, I can't tell you how beautiful it is. It just has this beautiful opalescence in it and gorgeous stuff. Let's see, we've got our front counter here. And over here, print farm. A bunch of Chitty Techs, a few more.
I keep hearing Titty Check when he says that. Just me. My bad, sorry.
A bunch of printers waiting to be put together. We got a Optimus P1 over here. That's a whole different story entirely. A couple more backup printers there along with filament. We got some resin action going. Been doing a few big resin jobs lately. This particular job is 51 units. Repairs. I got 2 more printers ready to go and sell on the tables.
Hey, Kit, how you doing?
Back here we have our 30 and 50 watt fiber lasers.
Chitty Tech is what I'm told by Trevor. It's Chitty.
I have a 3-year-old.
Like
she has her own little
sounds like titty
area back here.
You sure it's not Titty Check?
I thought it was Kitty Tech, but he
repair
had 3
section.
machines, and he had actually had a lot of machines from that company.
Chitty Techs
and he said it's
Crowley.
Chitty.
But
those are not
put
great
everything
machines,
together.
man.
I like my iFast. I've
That's the story.
had any issues with iFast.
Thank you very much for watching, and thank you, Jerry.
But for the price point,
well, yeah, $2,500 is a ton of money.
there's no way anybody should buy that printer for the price point. I mean, I hate to say that. They're just not great. Not from what I've seen, anyways. Do you use yours, Jerry?
Yeah, I use it quite a bit. It has a magnetic build surface. The magnets are built into the bed with the flex sheet. And if I load up the bed, it layer shifts and the whole thing moves on me. So I got duct tape on it. So it
I mean, for move. What is that, a $3,000, $4,000 machine, something like that?
It's $2,500 what they sell for.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Jerry, that's the thing. I think it's I think I said it to you before. Your bed is probably experiencing the Curie effect. That as the bed heats up, the magnets are losing magnetism.
Yeah, it shouldn't though. The magnets they use are beefy on that thing.
It depends on the magnets they're used, though.
Even when the bed is cold and the plate is on it, I can easily grab it and I can shift it around.
Then the magnets are too weak. Then they're too weak. So
well, and the shear force of any magnet is shear force is the weakness, right? So
yes, it is. So what I would do is, if I was you, Jerry, I would get a magnetic pad and get a bed with get a pad and
just Stick it
on, and then put it on there, and then do that. That would solve the problem.
Let me grab the dog's bone real quick. They're going nuts.
Because it has magnets
Michael
made
Castle,
out across
hello.
the bed, so there's points of magnetic hold.
So how many people, when you sit in a chair for a long time, you go to get up, your butt hurts like hell, and you got to try to just go for it and jump up real quick? My butt gets sore sitting down.
Sorry, Jerry, my butt doesn't usually hurt when I need to get up.
Yeah.
We're not going there.
I don't want padding on my bed. It's all my stomach. But anyway,
guys, I'm gonna run.
All right, Jimmy.
Yeah.
I gotta get dinner going.
Later, Jamie.
Jamie, for dropping in, congratulations on the filament win.
Okay, just shoot me a message of for whatever I need to do. And thanks again, Tribal.
You just send him drop Jerry a message with your
you're the fastest.
Your delivery address.
Strokes.
Just go to Ziltech.com, Jamie. Find any roll of filament, PLA, ABS, or PETG. Tell me what color, and if you want PLA or what you want, and give me your mailing address, and I'll get it sent over to her.
All righty, you already got my address.
Okay.
I mean,
yeah,
I got a Christmas card from you.
Okay. All right.
All right. See you
Have
guys.
an awesome day. Thank you for coming by. We'll be here next week if you have time.
Yeah, hopefully I'll have something painted on these.
Nice.
All right. See you guys.
Take care.
What are you doing?
Puppy cam. Here you go.
Yeah, I know. Yes.
The dog's acting like a cat and wants to attack it, whoever's holding it.
Eat him. This is why your nuts are coming off in a couple weeks. Yes, it is. God, you're crazy.
Did I just hear you're going to castrate him?
Poor baby.
Getting snipped in a couple weeks. Yes, it is.
He's gonna lose his
You
man.
know, that doesn't always quiet them down. Sometimes it makes them more aggressive. It varies from dog to dog, but sometimes getting them spayed, it actually has the reverse effect.
Yeah, cut my nuts off, see what happens.
Point made.
Dog saying, "Get your finger out of my butt. That hurts." Anyway.
I mean, I wouldn't be happy, would you?
No, not too pleased. Some it does quieten them down, but others it doesn't. So topics very, very wide.
2.5 hours. We talked about bamboo. We talked about a scanner, and hopefully we're going to see a link to the scanner in chat, but we may not. Just a little bit of everything.
How long were y'all talking about bamboo before I got here? The whole show?
No.
What else is there to talk about?
Oh, HostGator.
I brought it up just before you got on because of all the Twitter drama, and then also the Facebook drama that was associated with it. So it was just like, well, it was two polar opposites though. It was like Twitter was all anti-bamboo, and then Facebook was all bamboo. I was like, okay.
Oh, I hate CAD design.
That was a really great, another great tutorial, Lightspeed. With
the threads.
Yeah. Did you see how many favorites you got on that?
I did. Yeah. So the thread, making threads and for 3D printing is my absolute favorite thing in the whole wide world to do. It was like the first thing I was impressed with 3D printing was making things that could thread together. But I learned that technique from Clockspring. He made a tutorial years and years ago, and I've just kept it going, kept it alive. But yeah, the threads that are just like perfect butter, I love it. Yeah, a lot of people like that.
Friend of mine, Jared, here in Vegas, sold his Prusas. He was a Prusa fanboy, and here's his two printers he just got in the last few days. And he still has a mini sitting over there. And here's a print that he just did on the Prusa or on the bamboo.
The bamboos are nuts, dude. The bamboos are super good.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm still.
There's no.
I think that's also why
anything.
Well, and I think that's what a lot of the people are. Go ahead. You're telling that, right?
CR10 Max. I had it last week on Facebook Marketplace for $500, and I pulled it down. Like, no, I want to keep it. It's my biggest, baddest printer. Perfect shape, and I put it back on there. So I'm selling for $500 local pickup only. And that's next to the shitty fast.
Not to undercut you, Jerry. Do you think that's a little bit too expensive for printers that are coming out? Like, just throwing it out there. Don't want to create an argument. because
Tiny
like
Machines
you guys
sold
look
that
at
printer,
like.
I bet Tiny Machines is almost out of business, Jerry.
It's $1,000. It's still $1,000 printer on Tiny Machines.
I bet Tiny Machines is in deep shit right now. I bet.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude.
Well,
everybody is like.
Oh yeah, because of. Yeah.
I mean,
but I'm
everybody.
just saying,
everybody's feeling the bamboozled effect.
Yeah, is the like the LU Max is coming out and it's undercut that price. That's all. I'm only when I put stuff out there, I look to see what the competing market of something similar in size, and then I'm like, okay, I can't sell it for that. It's just
it doesn't mean that somebody won't buy it. Somebody might buy it. No,
absolutely not. I'm just saying that's the way I usually do it, and that's why I don't want to create an argument about it. It's just I look at what especially like what's happening now. I want you to get top dollar.
Yeah.
Is it expensive? Hell yeah.
The newbie contacted me on Marketplace the other day about my original CR10 that has easy AVL, filament runout sensor, all the bells and whistles and upgrades from TH3D. And he says, I'm new. Should I buy this? And I said, no, you should go buy a Sobel SV06. And I gave him the link on Amazon. You don't want to buy this. There's too much of a learning curve and things you need to know how to do. So I sent him over to Amazon to go buy the SV06.
Good for you. Did you give him an affiliate link though?
Yeah.
Good for you.
And I told him it was. But yeah, I killed the
fuck
sale.
that guy.
Yeah, if you're new, this isn't for you. It depends what I'm selling. I'll be honest. So
anyway. Right, I'm gonna jump off, guys.
All right, bud. See you, man.
Yeah, nearly 12 o'clock here, so.
Yeah, I've got 3 Raspberry Pi 3Bs I'm selling for $280 right now on Marketplace.
So that should be a good sell. See, Andrew. Yeah, that should be good too, man. Uh-oh, what happened?
So that's it's just me just creating an Inkscape, just a real simple CAD design for a sign just for that CNC plasma. So you have to have the slashes through the letters so it doesn't fall out. So I was going to do something fancier for my first cut, but I'm like, we'll just keep it like this. But
well, the Carbon X1 from Lenovo is a really old machine, Scott.
Which ones?
The Lenovo Carbon X1 laptops. They've been out there a long time. I have one. They're
I remember when they were originally IBMs, and then went to Lenovo, and they sold off Lenovo actually sold it off, and they still kept the name. So,
Plasma
IBM
MPC
CADs.
I have an MPC in CIBL. It's 3 foot by 3 foot. I've got a Makita router on it. I built it a couple of years ago, so I don't have their newest files, the newest design. I printed all the parts out of PETG.
They have new ones now that actually, Jerry, I can't remember what it's called, where it clamps onto an 8x4 sheet, and it actually uses it travels on the sheet using rollers on the sheet itself.
Yeah, Teaching Tech Michael did that one a few years ago. I forget what it's called, but yeah, it runs up and down a full sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Got a roller skate wheels on it.
Yeah. That's great for large prints, for really large.
If anybody on Twitch wants to do a drop, I got the screen up. We've got 24 people on Twitch and 13 people on YouTube watching, a total of 37.
Yeah, it's called a lowrider.
Yeah, lowrider. That's it. Yeah. Thanks, Kit. Yeah.
If you have a large work area and you want to do cutouts and engraving on really large objects, that's ideal,
Let me throw out some points to everybody on Twitch.
But
so Lightspeed, you gonna be going to Murph this time?
I don't think so. Mm-mm. No. I'm moving, so I think I'm gonna be a little too busy.
Where are you moving to?
New Mexico.
Ah. Oh, yeah. You'll be with Neary's.
Yeah, we're gonna be neighbors actually, close to it. I'm gonna put my trailer right next to his.
Oh my God, I can imagine you two together.
Okay, that we need to see live.
Bring a shovel and wonder who's going to be in the hole first.
Yeah, I'm gonna put on a hazmat suit and go over and do a home visit. Yeah, I'm moving. Well, I'm not moving there technically. The company I'm going to they bought a house and furnished it for my wife and I for the next 18 months. So my house here will stay here, and my kid's gonna stay here off and on. So it's more like a mission, I guess, for 18 months, and then after that's over, because I'll be over New Mexico, Texas, Nevada, and Arizona. But Albuquerque is where they need the help the most right now. So that's where I'm going.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, New Mexico is beautiful, actually. There's some bad areas, but
we're looking. 5 years we'll be out of this place because they also just changed some laws. It's just getting so bad here.
Yeah, where are you gonna go? Indiana or what?
No, away from the snow and ice. So either southeast or southwest. So
you gotta go Arizona, man. You can still pack heat around here.
I got a new calendar.
As I said to other.
Hey, Trapod, what do you do for a living?
Sports Illustrated didn't have any good-looking women, so I got a different one called lingerie.
That's 2022, though.
2023.
No,
2022.
I know.
Who's using it for an actual calendar?
Hey, Jerry, that's very different to my calendar.
Every month that I have to take a shot, I take Humira shots. I write an S on it for the day I got to have.
Why couldn't you lift up March so easily?
None of the pages are stuck together yet.
Yeah.
Hey, Trapod, what do you do for a living?
I'm an IT manager. Yeah.
I used to do that work.
If we didn't have an outside contracting company doing IT, we would need an IT manager.
Yeah.
I'd get you a job where I work. We have a severe lack of people right now.
Jerry, your calendar is very different to my calendar.
Yeah, I know you got space calendar. Yeah.
Oh. Okay, you can take him off the large screen now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Daddy Wazzy is looking for a job. 20-year sysadmin. Problem is all these companies outsource, and then the service falls down, and people don't realize time is money. They're too busy outsourcing IT and HR. So
yeah, the insane thing is the company we outsource our IT to, we're contracted them that they have somebody on site with their own office at our location. So we have a dedicated guy that works for this company whose office is in our building.
That's funny.
I've been with 3 companies now that have outsourced IT. When I first started, that wasn't outsourced. So this is the 3rd company that I've been with that's gone through the whole thing of outsourcing.
My company outsourced, and then they've actually brought them back in-house again because there's so many problems with the outsourcing.
Yep, that's usually what happens. It's so much loss in productivity.
And on top of that, then, when you outsource your IT, the company you outsource to, they nickel and dime you for everything. Whereas if you had staff, you just pay them a salary and they do the work and it's done. You know?
Hey, I think Rye has a good thing. You should have just a Nebula calendar from Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Yeah, our outsourced IT is actually not that bad. We're defense contractors, so we have very, very stringent IT.
Is it HPE? Is it HPE?
No.
You're outsourced? No, okay, because I don't know if they lost it with the government or not, but I know years ago HPE was one of their biggest outsourced IT.
It's a local company, but
yeah, maybe 30 years ago.
They've just come out with all these new guidelines for cybersecurity, and my company is the first company of our size and one of the first companies, period, to have like a 94% conform rate to the new security standard.
The only thing that sometimes outsourcing does is gets to you to, if it's the right company to go with, is it helps you get to the ITIL standards of running IT effectively.
Yeah, and I mean we're 9002 certified too as well.
No, I mean, I'm not talking about ISO certifications. I'm just talking about ITIL standards for running IT. So, but
yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, I mean, doing change management and all the other crap that goes along with it. Anyways, hey, this isn't about outsourcing or anything. This is about fabricating and half nude calendars, right?
I will say this: you would be like a kid in a candy store where I work.
So when we're decommissioning our data center at my old building, when we move to another one.
I'm not talking about IT. I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. Just all the equipment, like what I have here, all the fabrication stuff. No, then what?
So we have a CNC mill that has a 5-meter X travel, and will hold 35,000 pounds on its bed.
Yeah, it's you know how many times I turn down reviews and stuff because I just don't have the space for it.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I bought that extra Arc Droid because it's small. I don't need. People are like, oh, it's such a limited space of 17-inch by 22. I'm like, I'm not looking to fabricate big stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's.
Yeah, I like to joke around and tell people, they find out I work for a machine shop, and they're like, oh, you do motors and stuff? I'm like, how about this? Strap your heads to the roof rack of your lifted Jeep, and you can drive it on the machine, and I'll mill them without taking them off the truck. How big this machine is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey, Steven, look up the YouTube video on the Tesla that went over the cliff in California.
And I do good with it.
I said to watch that. Was it done on purpose?
Yeah, the guy supposedly drove off the edge on purpose. The airbag saved everybody, 250-foot drop. But like I was saying earlier, it appears to me that the cliff must have been at an angle really steep where the car kind of just drove straight down it and crashed. Because if it would have just went straight out.
No, it flipped over. No, it landed. They said it landed on its roof, and then it tumbled a few more times after that.
Something, because a straight drop of 250 feet, it would have killed everybody, but everybody survived with minor injuries. So I think it kind of drove down the side of the mountain. But
because I just saw that, like, Elon said something on Twitter about it, and then I was like, I gotta watch it. So
yeah. What was he like? Oh, good, it wasn't my fault.
Yeah, pretty much. No.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is this. Well, also the battery is what gives it such a great safety rating because it has such a low center of gravity. So it's really hard to. It's almost not nearly impossible. It is really hard to tip those things.
Yeah. So, hey, Zach, do you have a link to that scanner that I can post in chat? If you throw it in private chat, I'd appreciate it. In case anybody wants to look it up.
2 huge coyotes. We have a huge coyote population here.
No, they were not using autopilot. They said there was no auto. None of the driver-assisted systems were enabled.
Hey,
it was enabled, and the guy tried to drive over and did drive over there himself. The auto assist would actually prevent.
Hey, Stephen, on that car, are all the cameras always filming, or did the guy possibly turn them off? So there might be footage of what happened.
No, yeah, that makes sense.
You can turn them off.
Watching you.
So you can actually remove the SD card from it, and I believe it only records crash data. So I think when it crashes, it'll record 30 seconds before, just like a police car would. But as far as like the day-to-day recording, you can take the SD card out of it and it won't record anything. But it's pretty cool, man, because like the new stuff, I don't know if I told you guys this or not, but I just got full self-driving like two weekends ago.
Yeah, I watched your TikTok video.
Man, I've been waiting, dude. I've been waiting since I bought that car for it to actually have it. It is bonkers. You back out of your driveway, take me to the CVS, and it just bung, okay, boom.
Okay, so
navigates everything.
Question though for you. So is this a different? Yeah. Okay, so this is your second one because your first one.
I
got
wrecked
well, you didn't wreck it. Someone wrecked it for you.
It wrecked it. Yeah.
Hold on, air compressor. But anyways, is this a different software than what you had before?
Yes. So they've been testing. They call it the FSD beta, right? So they've been running. So I had self-driving before, like I could drive through a neighborhood on self-driving, right? But it didn't steer. It wouldn't turn around. It steered, but it wouldn't go around corners. It didn't recognize stop signs. It basically would drive in a relatively straight line. Now, where it did well was on the freeway. Like when I drive to California, I'd get on the freeway, set my destination for California, and I'd literally hands off 300 miles all the way to California. It would take its exit to charge and all that stuff. This is different because it navigates. It drives like you would drive on every surface street. So it'll drive through parking lots. It'll drive through mall parking lots. It'll find you parking spots. And it like turns the blinkers on. It turns corners. It does four-way stops, all that kind of stuff. So that's new.
If you put a 2-foot doll on the street, will it stop for it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. In fact, it's very, very cautious around kids. Now, I think what most people are realizing is how aggressive it is, because it is super. It pulls out into traffic because it knows it's got the power to pull out into traffic. But dude, I'm telling you, it pulls out into traffic where I'm going, oh shit, like that, and it just floors it, right? It just floors it.
Bathroom, he gets off the next exit, pulls the 7-Eleven out of the bathroom.
I told my wife the first week of driving it, like I felt like like your abdomen where you have you get stomach from doing sit-ups, because you're so used to having the steering wheel to hold on to in that car. Like when it's driving itself, you have to just kind of you're trying to grab something because you're trying to hold your body up because
it's like you being the passenger. It's like you being the passenger then.
Pretty much, but yeah. I mean, pretty much.
That has to be such a weird experience. So
the reason that I didn't get it right away is because this is my safety score from Tesla is 90, and that's not good. That is really not good. To get the beta when it first came out, 6 months ago. You had to have a 99 or better and maintain it. If you drop below 99, they took it away. So mine just keeps getting worse and worse. But
does the driving gap make it worse?
and then meanwhile, I have a 2018 Toyota Camry that does everything that the autopilot does. Not the self-driving, the autopilot with a free
the lane assist and everything.
No, I've actually got the Comma 3 with Open Pilot.
Oh, you have Comma 3. Yeah, that's GeoHot.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
GeoHot's good. So actually, it's kind of funny, Zach. Originally, my last Tesla had the sonar and it had the camera, right? And they were redundant systems, right? Some people, they use both of them to judge. My newer car is after they got rid of sonar, so now it's all visual only. And I remember there was a bunch of debate about it, but I remember Elon Musk talking about GeoHot specifically. If you don't know who GeoHot is, he's the first guy to ever jailbreak an iPhone. And he developed a system called Comma AI, and it's all based on, he basically saying, everything you need to drive a car is in a cell phone, right? It is the most powerful computer on earth. Basically, is in the pocket. Visually speaking, is in your pocket. So it can drive a car just from what it can see from these cameras, both forward facing and back and facing towards you. But yeah, you can put it up in the mirror and it'll drive you across the country basically, as long as you have a certain type of car that it can control the steering angle sensors and all that stuff.
Oh,
so
yeah,
like in Zach's car.
I was gonna say, it has to have like electric steering and stuff like that too.
Yeah, so it has to be a car that has
it's gonna have radar cruise control as well.
Yeah, and it's got to have like the ability to lane assistance control. So
Yeah,
a car
so
that'll back itself in the lane.
Electric power steering is a prerequisite for the lane keep assist.
How much was it, Zach?
The hardware was $2,000.
Oh, was it that much?
Yeah.
Are you using a cell phone? Or no,
I'm using a Comma 3, which is
okay.
I mean, it's a
Originally they were selling it where you could use a cell phone, right?
Yeah, I mean, you still can. The software is open source, and they sell hardware purpose designed for the project, right? But you can still, if you so desire, you can run it off of a cell phone. You can run it off of an older Comma 2, which is another purpose-built machine for that. But the Comma 3 is basically, it's like it's got all the specs of a flagship cell phone, but it's got really, really good cameras on the back. It's got a telephoto lens and a wide angle lens, and it's got an IR, I think it's IR driver facing cam for driver monitoring.
Was it plug into the ODB2 port or something? What was okay?
It plugs into OBD2 and CAN bus both.
I would like to try it, to be honest.
But
what's new, Sergio? How you doing? You're muted.
You're muted.
I'm back.
He said he was going to give you his fiber laser.
I'm just keeping the mic off because I got the printer going.
But yeah, so I'll put about 10,000 miles on this car, and like 9,600 or more are with the system active.
So you use it all the time?
I use it every day to drive to work. I put it on the interstate, turn it on, and start eating my breakfast, hands off.
Does it go through neighborhoods though?
So it basically does. There's a lot of background here. I'm gonna try to breeze through it as quick as I can.
But I know, like Tesla, they're limiting this latest one because it goes through neighborhoods, school zones, and it'll turn corners and stop signs and all that shit.
With OpenPilot, it depends on the hardware present in your car and how well the system can integrate and take over the hardware. My particular model car currently uses the factory radar cruise control, and it uses the OpenPilot for steering. So I have to basically abide by the rules of the factory cruise control. The system can't brake based on seeing a stop sign, seeing a red light, any of that. It can only brake when the radar
when something's in front of it
brings you to a stop. And I can do stop and go traffic, but that's stock feature on that car. I can do stop and go traffic.
Did you hear about the guy in Germany that was that they spent miles the police spent miles trying to get him to pull over? He had to wait on the steering wheel. You know the way you can.
And he fell asleep.
He fell asleep in the car, and they tried to pull him over, and they couldn't. They couldn't wake him up.
So I think I told you guys last time you weren't on here, Liam, but that happened to me because I'm driving to California, right? And the last time I went over on a Wednesday, and I came back on a Thursday, and I didn't sleep for shit. Anyways, I got done with work at like 4:00, and I literally headed out of LA and started driving, and I set autopilot, and basically I fell asleep. I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. I don't know how long it was, but I had my hand on the steering wheel the whole time. And I totally nodded off and passed out. And the reason I woke up is because the car took the exit because when it knows it needs to charge, it'll take its own exit. And when the blinker came on and I felt the steering wheel turn the car, shit, and I thought, oh my God, it's going off the road. And it was just, it was just going to charge. And then I realized so I stopped. I was like, man, I told my wife, I got to take a freaking nap. So I stopped and went to sleep for like a half hour.
We're going to have to add a feature to self-driving that when a police signal for the car to pull over, that the car will actually listen and will.
Well, hold on. So now, so that was before I had the FSD beta. Now that I have the FSD beta, so I used to have a Post-it note over the interior camera. Because every time so there's two autopilots, right? The regular autopilot and then there's FSD beta. So when I go to California, it drives itself completely. It passes cars, it takes exits, all that stuff. But it's boring, right? So while the car's driving itself at 85 miles an hour, I would like sometimes I'd get on my phone and like set up YouTube or something, or listen to something. If you touched your phone, it would start beeping and flipping out on you. So I thought, well, screw that. I'm just going to put a Post-it note over it. So that's what I did.
Elon, take me to Disneyland.
So now with FSD beta though, when I first got it, I was super excited. I pull out of my house, I hit the stick, I'm super excited, and it won't do nothing. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And I look at the screen, a little thing, it says remove the cover from the camera. And
you got busted.
Hey,
yeah.
If you're on
so they won't let you. So if you're driving right now, and if I look at my wife too long, it starts going boo, 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 boo. I mean, if you do you have to keep your eyes up and attentive the whole time. So
do you have to keep your hand on the wheel?
No, it's only every 30 seconds you have to nudge the wheel, or you can touch the volume rocker or the speed control rocker.
So the way mine works, it has a driver-facing camera, and it's got a face tracker built in. And
that's this does too.
If you're on autopilot, and somebody falls asleep, block all lanes of traffic in front of it, and the Tesla will stop. It has nowhere to go.
Right? I mean, that's true of anybody with cruise control like that too. But I was gonna show you guys.
Run into the vehicle in front of it. Cruise control won't slow down on a regular vehicle.
Mine will. Adaptive cruise control.
Yeah, I got a 2001 Chevy Silverado. It's not smart. I set it at a speed and it stays there until it runs into something, or I disable it.
So this is. I'll show you what this is dog mode, right? So I have my car turned on to dog mode. And when it's in dog mode, it's maintaining the temperature. But this is basically, I just got a text message. But this is what it looks like inside the car right now.
I remember when you rented it and you had the camera.
Yeah, I could actually watch them driving the car. Yeah. Actually, when I rented it, I watched their whole trip. I could see where they were going. I could see how they were driving, the whole thing. But you can see inside the car, which is crazy. So I turn this on when I go in the store and I leave my wife in there, and she can tell when I turn the camera on. She goes, "Stop watching me." Pretty good though. Yeah, and I can also make the car fart from here. So I just started it in my garage. But yeah, pretty cool. And you can talk through it too. But I do love the car.
The funny thing is that the real conversation to be had here is, my car can do most of everything that a Tesla autopilot can, for the most part. It's not electric. That's missing. But how much is a used Camry? How much is a used Corolla? A Corolla will do it, and actually will work better with the system because it allows the full system with the cruise control and everything to work.
Well, I'm going to do a raid, guys. It's been a little over 3 hours and 10 minutes. And I appreciate everybody stopping in on Twitch, YouTube, and everybody here we have on screen. And let me see.
Nice talking to y'all.
You too, guys.
I'll raid in the Maker Deck on Twitch. That's a Twitch thing. Those that are watching on YouTube, I'm going to raid over to Maker Deck. Everybody, thank you very much. Check out Liam. He'll be on, when are you on? Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific.
Yes.
And we got a raid going here right now, and I'll be back next Saturday, 1 p.m. Pacific. Okay, the raid is jumping over. I'm going to run my exit, and I'll see everybody later. And thank you all for the donations and the subs and everything, guys. Thank you very much.